We would also agree that men unfortunately hold the monopoly on violence statistics in the country, right?
Yeah, I would say that's probably accurate.
Trans woman.
What is a
trans woman?
What do you mean, what is a trans woman?
What biologically is a trans woman?
I've already said, were you not paying attention? I said if you're born a man, I believe you're a man. I believe if you're born a woman,
so now you have the statistics for why trans women shouldn't be allowed in women's bathrooms.
Okay, well that's just ridiculous. I can't believe people are clapping at that. This is so, hold on a second, let me respond to that. What a ridiculous thing to say. So,
how is that ridiculous?
So be quiet, let me.
That was
I hear all the time.
Never backs away, calls it like she sees it every single day. Life threw punches, she threw back twice. Now she's living free and rolling the dice. Left the past where it belongs, turn the heartbreak into songs. Built herself without a crown, now she's lifting others up instead of backing down. They come swinging, she just grins. Game starts over, guess who wins? She's the dark side deaconess, never settling for second best. Talk your talk, she'll pass the test, turns the pressure into confidence. Whoa. Watch the empire growing fast, every stream's bigger than the last. Started small, but look at this, not just a deaconess. She's the empress. Someday shake her, that's alright. She gets back up, ready to fight. Funny thing, the crowd all sees. The loudest critics lose their cool with ease. Brand new Facebook climbing high. Every week another surprise. Making waves without the noise. Confidence replacing all the boys. No permission, no disguise. Built an empire before their eyes. Hey, she's the dark side deaconess, never settling for second best. Talk your talk, she'll pass the test, turns the pressure into confidence. Whoa. Watch the empire growing fast, every stream's bigger than the last. Started small, but look at this, not just a deaconess. She's the empress. Raise your banners, raise your voice, stand your ground, make your choice. No one's writing her fate now. She already showed them how. One more street, one more climb, one more victory at a time. Hey, she's a dark side deaconess, built from courage, earned respect. Never quits, she never bends. Every setback just begins again. Whoa. Watch the future taking shape, leaving doubt without a trace. Standing tall, she's fearless yet, not just a deaconess. She's the empress. The empress rises, just getting started.
I was muted. So sorry. So sorry. Welcome in, RLM. JR. I think you got to me from Reexaminations server where I had posted my stream that I'm about to go live, and here we are. So usually on Tuesday, we do Taco Tuesday. We'll do Taco Tuesday still if everybody wants me to open the panel after I do what I am primarily here to do today. We will open the panel and we'll have a Taco Tuesday panel with the same topic that I attempted to use, I think, last week, but it was a slow day. So we shut that down and we didn't get into it. So first and foremost, let me introduce myself to those of you who have not been here before. I am Dark Side Deaconess, and this is the DSD network, and you can call me DSD. Everybody seems to have fallen into that on their own, and I accept it. It's just better that way. What do you mean? Is it just audio? Is what just audio? Also, welcome in, T-Man. It's good to see you back. Okay, so let me go ahead and continue on here. I'll wait for your response. You can call me DSD. That works for me. It seems to be easier. Dark Side Deaconess is long, so, you know, whatever. DSD works for me. So last week, I sat down with Cipher, and we did an interview. And my answers were organic because I did not know what he was going to be asking me. And as I went back through the interview and I watched myself and I listened to myself, I realized that I felt rushed. And I know that because Cipher had a time frame that he had to get this done in, and I was trying to keep track of time, but also trying to stay in the flow of the interview. I did cut out a big chunk that I am going to answer the question he asked. I'm going to save you guys from seeing me ugly cry. Okay, I cry enough as it is in it. I honestly don't like to lie. And when someone asks me a question, I try to be as transparent about the truth as I possibly can. So this did get a little emotional. And again, if you've never been here before, I'll go ahead and the interview is going to go into why the channel exists, what prompted me initially to do this. So you will see up in the right-hand corner right now, my Cash App QR code is there. But there is the QR code for the GoFundMe. So before watching this interview with our good friend and very loyal moderator, Cipher, if you want to read a little bit about my story, about why the GoFundMe exists, the QR code is right up there in the right-hand corner of your screen. If you want to scan that, if you have a secondary device. You can also click the GoFundMe link in the description of the video and every video that I post. If you would like the story and you don't have a secondary device that you can scan that QR code with. So there's that. And I'm going to go ahead and put the Cash App one back up there. And then there's a poll. Don't forget to show the thumbs some love if you like what you see. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of the Dark Side Deaconess. And don't forget to hit the bell so that you get notifications when I go live if you start to really enjoy my content. And then I'll go ahead and put that one in the StreamYard. So that's if you want an after panel. And then I'll take, all right, so it looks like, yes, nice to meet you too, sir. All right, so I guess the next thing to do is put on my vulnerability and get this started. Am I right? All right, so let's get this shared up on the screen. And I will stop throughout this because I did clip out the answers that I gave, because I gave the answers while I was ugly crying, which again, I said, I just don't want you guys to see. I don't think that it's professional. I think some emotion is okay, especially when you're dealing with emotional topics, but I was literally ugly crying. Hi, Mushroom. Yeah, this is it, bro. This is where everybody who wants the dirt can get it. I'm going to be as transparent as I can while keeping it relevant. I think there are a lot of questions that people ask about me instead of asking me about them. They go around and they gossip and they talk about it and what they think they know. And I'm gonna give you guys the truth. So, and it's up to you whether or not you don't give anyone any ammo. Oh, yeah. So these aren't things that I haven't talked about sporadically, Mushroom. These are things that I've already said. I say many times in my streams that Darkside Deaconess is Darkside Deaconess for a reason. So instead of being so ambiguous, here we go. We're going to do it right now. Okay. Okay, here we go.
Hey there. So DSD, thank you for the time today. I'm excited to run these questions past you and really get.
Let me pause this for a second. Hold on.
These are things that.
The poll and the StreamYard, it has to be a singular digit. So if you want a panel, then put a 1. And if you don't, put a 2. Or just don't answer. It doesn't matter.
People in your audience and potential future subscribers might wonder about you. So it's going to shed some light on who you are and what your channel is all about. So first things first, why Darkside Deaconess? In more conservative spaces, especially, the combination can raise eyebrows. How did the name come about? What does it mean to you? And how does it connect with where you've been and where you're headed?
Okay, so Darkside Deaconess came about for 2 different reasons. I'll go with the little more lighthearted side of it, and that is because when my son was young, he's now 19, but when he was young, he got into Star Wars, and it was right around volume issues on your side, not mine. Disney was taking over Star Wars, and you had the gap with the Star Wars Legends and the appearance of Mara Jade. And so Mara Jade Skywalker ultimately became like Palpatine's puppet, and he had a connection with her and he could make her do things. And when he died, and left her with her last mission was to eliminate Luke Skywalker. And in the process of her working to do this, she fell in love with him. They married and they had a child. So I really like the story of Mara Jade because it does represent where I've come from. And, oh, Lord. And you know, it doesn't give the detail of where I came from in order to get where I am, but it gives a brief insight.
So talk more about that. What is it that you've come from that your audience might be able to relate to?
I am going to pause it because this is the section that I have clipped out for saving everyone from watching me ugly cry. So I'll go ahead and make myself big. And I'm going to answer Cipher's question, and I'm going to answer it in a detached way because, well, that's the best way to talk about these things. So the best way to talk about it is like it's somebody else's and not yours, because I remember the emotions, and getting trapped in that loop is ultimately what caused me to not be able to walk through that the first time with Cipher without becoming emotional. So he's asking me, outside of Mara Jade, what brought about the Darkside Deaconess? And, you know, I say there's a dark side, there's the dark side, right? And when I talk about the dark side, I talk about all of the things that we in the communities that I participate in, or whatever, congregate in, however you want to say it. There's a lot of talk about the lifestyle that I used to live. So I lived probably one of the most degenerate lifestyles a person can live. But what I will say is that, and yes, the lifestyle that I lived was ultimately decisions, because of decisions that I made, not because I was forced into it. I felt forced. I felt without any other option. I felt like, or I thought, or I believed that some of the things that I did were necessary for survival. Even if survival was simply that, right? No emotions, no really feeling anything, completely self-centered actions, because I was attempting to maintain my life, to stay alive, in the lifestyle that I lived. So I ran with lots of, well, here, let me start this off. Now, I questioned whether or not I should bring this up. And you'll hear me in the next clip say that I was attempting to discern what is relevant and what is not relevant. And I have found myself for far too long protecting evil people and not wanting to make them look bad. But two of the most evil people that I have ever encountered in my life on this earth happen to be my mother and her husband. And I say that because when I was 15 years old, my mother's husband started making weird comments to me. Now, he had been my mother's husband since I was 9 years old, so 6 years at this point, approximately. Started making weird comments towards me that were just weird. Weird, and was acting weird. It's really the only word that I have for it, because I was a kid and I didn't understand why this man that was married to my mom was making these weird comments to me. So he started making these weird comments to me, and I knew what they were. I started staying away from my house as much as possible. I would go to my friend's house. My mom didn't know where some of my friends lived, and I kept it that way. I needed every chance that I could get to remove myself from her house so that I was protected, because she wasn't protecting me. And I'll take it back to when I was 8, 9 years old, 9, right after they got married, I think. Also, like, they didn't even date. I don't even remember them dating. Like, he was my mom's friend's boyfriend or husband, and then all of a sudden he was sleeping on our couch, and then they were married when me and my brother came home from school one day. So that will give you that. He used to call me names. I was like 9, 10 years old. He called me a bitch. A little bitch. Whiny little bitch. That's the way that a grown man was speaking about me at that age. And my mother never did anything. She never told him to stop. She didn't protect me. My mother abandoned my brother and I. Let me go back a little further. My mother abandoned my brother and I with my grandfather when we were 4 and 5 years old. And she was going to put us up for adoption. And my grandfather said, "The hell you are." And so that was like after my dad died when I was an infant. And I'm sure my mother was struggling. I won't go into that too much because I don't really have a very strong memory of those. I was very young, talking about 40 years ago. So those things started happening when I was 15 regarding my mother's husband. And when I was 17 years old, I was sitting on the couch, and my mom was sleeping on the couch. And we had like this it was a big ass sectional couch from like, I don't know, 1990. It was big. And I'm a nail biter, have been for the longest time. And so I was just sitting there, we were just watching TV. I was watching whatever was on the TV, and he just subtly asked me like why I was biting my fingernails. I was like, I don't know, always do. And then the weirdest thing happened. The weirdest words. I can't, it makes me want to puke. He said, can I bite your fingernails for you? I'll never forget that day. I'll never forget it. It's the one thing that reminds me that I'm not crazy about this. Now, when all of this came out, okay, all of this came out, I had a boyfriend at the time that was a little bit older than me. I told him about some of these things. And he, at 1:00 in the morning, made me call my cousin, who was a few years, she was an adult. Hi, Graham. Welcome in. Thank you for joining me on this very difficult journey that I hope that helps someone other than me. So at 1:00 in the morning, approximately from my memory, he makes me call my cousin. My cousin was like 7 years older than me. She was in her mid-20s. Then we get up and drive to her house, which was about 30 minutes away. And then they make me call my mom, and they make me tell my mom. And when my mom confronted her husband, my mother's husband did not deny the allegations. And then Children's Services was involved. And I mind you, I was 17 years old. So Children's Services gets involved. They come out. They tell my mom, you either find somewhere for her to go, you find somewhere for him to go, or she's going into foster care and she's almost 18. This isn't going to be easy for her. That's what the sheriff told my mom. So then my mom set up this thing with my boyfriend at the time, who was 4 years older than me. He was 21 years old, where they would take turns getting me to and from school, and I would stay at his house for the most part, his apartment. So they had that going. And then my mom stopped coming to get me for school. She stopped coming to pick me up. And I went to juvenile detention for truancy. And then they made me go back to that house. I had a bedroom that was upstairs. The bathroom was downstairs. The kitchen was downstairs. Everything that I needed was downstairs. And I was not allowed to come downstairs if my mom wasn't home, and he was. I wasn't allowed to come downstairs to go to the bathroom, to get something to eat, nothing. And one day, I had had enough. I didn't do anything wrong, and I knew this. So I went downstairs, and I picked up a coffee mug. I have some big ones. I know you guys have seen me. I usually have my coffee. I picked up the biggest coffee mug I think that we had in our house at that time, and I held it over his head, and I told my mother that if she didn't call 911, that she was going to be one less a husband. And she called 911. And a week later, when I turned myself in because I ran, I took off. A week later, I had my friend call our local sheriff, like annex thingy. It was the county, but I lived like in a suburb of a metropolitan city. But anyways, so they came and got me. Now, the police of my area knew what was going on in my house. They knew. They knew why I took off. I told them. They knew. They were the ones that responded to the initial with the CPS and everything. They knew what was going on. They took me to the police station, and they went and got me some Burger King, and they took me down to the detention center, uncuffed. Hi, Lawrence. Went back window down. Like I could have bailed at any point. And I went to jail for like a month at 17 for domestic violence because I could no longer handle being made a prisoner like I was the one that had done something wrong at that age. In the state that I live in, we didn't have grooming laws back then. There wasn't anything I could do. And when I got out of juvenile detention, my mother took me to the local runaway shelter for teenagers and dropped me off with $20 and a bottle of my seizure medication and said, if you ever need anything, give me a call. That was the beginning of my life on my own. That was what I got handed. I was homeless. I called my uncle to come and get me from that shelter. I didn't belong there. I was garbage. Like, I had been dropped off by my mother. Yeah, it would be fair to say that the beginning of my adulthood was a bit messed up. And I am not responsible for my actions from that point, right? And for 20 years, damn near a little over 20 years, as I get further into my interview with Cipher, I talk about carrying that. I carried that for nearly 20 years. I was garbage. So with that, I'm going to get back to this interview. And I really appreciate you guys for sticking around. I can feel myself. I'm not even sad. I'm angry. I'm so angry. So I can feel the anger coming back. And I can feel that I thought about for a very long time. I was not good in my head. The day that I held that coffee cup over that man's head, I still sometimes wish that I had done what I wanted to do. And I believe it is only through God's intervention that I'm not sitting in prison today for doing what I wanted to do that day. I wanted to do it for many days after that, and I thought of many other ways to do it. I was very occupied. I wanted him gone. I wanted my mother, and I wanted that man out of my mother's life so that I could have my mother, because she was my mother. I was here first, damn it. That's how I saw it back then. Like, give me my mom back. Why did you take my mom from me? And I do. Look, I have to stop now. My chin's puckering. I still do feel like that sometimes. So I'm going to go off camera and I'm going to press play. I won't go. I'm trying to discern between what is relevant and what is not relevant. The reason that I don't have a relationship with my mother didn't give me a great start to life. I had a lot that needed to be compartmentalized and needed to be dealt with before I went out and started my own family.
Well, that's understandable. What role then do you think periods of time in your life where you kind of carried unresolved trauma, what role do you think that played both in your development and now where you're at kind of with this new professional venture of having a channel and a platform where you're wanting to do something, right? How do you see kind of that inflection point of resolving that for yourself psychologically and mentally, and being able to use it as now a strength for others potentially.
Okay, so I'm going to pause again because what he asked me there, how did my unresolved trauma affect my development as an adult, right? Because I was 17 at that time. So now at 4 years old, my father passed away when I was an infant. There's a controversy behind the death of my father as well. Abandoned by my mother at 4 years old. Then she came back when I was 6 and manipulated my brother and I away from my grandfather. And then like things were okay. Like things were kind of okay. Things weren't that bad for the first couple years that I was back with my mom that I can remember. And then like my mom got involved with some people and started introducing my brother and I to a very different way of life. Like when I was 8 years old, I was taken to my first rainbow gathering. I know like the Rainbow family is associated with the Insane Clown Posse, but that's not the Rainbow family that I'm talking about. I'm talking about like second generation hippies. Some first generation hippies were also involved at the time that my mother first started being involved with them. They're basically like they're a moving Woodstock kind of. And so she started, like my mom was a Deadhead. She followed the Grateful Dead until Jerry died. And my first concert was a Grateful Dead concert when I was 8 or 9 years old. I think I was 9. No, maybe. Either way, I was 8 or 9 years old. It was my first Grateful Dead concert. I had already been exposed to rainbow gatherings where adults run around naked. And there are hallucinogens involved and people are tripping on acid and there's kids everywhere. So that, you know, I thought all that stuff was normal, by the way, until I was in like my my early to mid 30s. I literally had no complaints about my mother's lifestyle like that. I did have like issues, right? Because I maintained a relationship with my mother, and I left my mother. Okay, I left my mother. I found my first husband. He was great to me. And, you know, it was, he took care of me, whatever. I think he probably would have taken care of me for the rest of my life hadn't we had the difficulties that if I hadn't been so fucked up, I'm just going to say it right now. If I hadn't been so fucked up, I think my first husband and I would still be married today. But I was real fucked up. You know, like I said in that clip, I had a lot that needed to be addressed and things that needed to be compartmentalized before I went out and started my own family. I put my children through a lot of shit that was very undeserving. I became a drug addict. I was already a drug addict, by the way, because my boyfriend had found street drugs. We had been dating probably like 6 months, 7 months or something. And he went on Christmas break to see his parents and came back, and he had discovered people at school. He was in college that were doing like designer drugs. And if you're a 90s kid, you know which drug I'm talking about. And buddy, let me tell you, It made everything go away. He was like, here, take this. You'll feel the best you've ever felt. And Buck, yeah, I did. I didn't think about any of the things that happened to me. I was on cloud 9. There was nothing but euphoria. I was fixed. I took that pill and I was fixed. And then I wanted more of those pills. And then I wanted more. And when I got locked up, my mother tried to go after my boyfriend and have him arrested. Now remember, I said she was the one that asked him when the children's services told my mother that she had to find somewhere else for me to go. She's the one that called him and said, hey, can she can't stay here. Can she stay there? This is the agreement that we worked out, and they worked out an agreement, right? But after I got picked up for truancy, and then the domestic violence happened and I went to jail, then she tried to get my boyfriend arrested. And because she tried to do that, he abandoned me. So she didn't want me. But for some reason, like this guy and he was going to take me to his parents. He was 21 years old. Yeah, we were doing stupid shit. He was doing stupid shit. But he came from a good background, and he was going to take me to his parents, and we were going to be together. And for some reason, my mom didn't want that to happen, but she didn't want me either. Like, she had clearly shown that she didn't want me. So I don't understand where the mix up was. And I still don't understand to this day. So I'll get back to it. I eventually, obviously, I became a worse drug addict throughout the years. I got married and I got off of drugs. I got married. I had kids. I did drink. I probably drank too much. And ultimately my marriage ended. Those reasons aren't for the internet. And, you know, so again, I said I was fucked up. I was really fucked up. My marriage ended, and I was destroyed from the inside out, because once again, I felt like I was just being thrown away with the trash, that I just wasn't good enough. I wasn't good enough for my mother. I wasn't good enough for this guy that I thought was going to love me forever. And then I wasn't good enough for this guy that I married that I thought definitely was going to love me forever. And we had 2 kids together. So along the way, this message kept getting validated that I was trash. I was just trash. All I was meant to be was trash. And it just kept getting validated for me up here. I couldn't see anything good about myself. I couldn't see the good things that other people were telling me about myself. All I could attach to was these negative things that I was being treated like I was just being disposed of. Like there wasn't anything good about me that anybody wanted to keep me around for. And so ultimately, when I got divorced, I went back to the drugs because I remembered that they made everything better, right? They made everything better. They made everything go away. Everything was going to be fine. I forgot how they destroyed my life. I didn't remember that part. And now not only was I destroying my own life again, but I was destroying my soon-to-be ex-husband's life and the lives of my 2 young daughters. I was destroying their lives as well. That's not fair. That wasn't fair to my husband. It wasn't fair to my kids. And while what happened to me when I was a kid was not my fault, and I cannot be held accountable for the things that happened to me that weren't my fault, I can be held accountable for the things that I did after. And I am accountable, and I am responsible. I didn't know how to get help. I didn't know what to do. Well, why didn't I know what to do? Well, the cops already said there wasn't anything I could do about this guy that was like my mother's husband that was being gross and weird towards me. There's nothing you can do. There were no grooming laws in the state that I live in 1999. There were no grooming laws. I was stuck. I went to therapy. I hated it. When you have real trauma and you go to therapy, and you actually heal, listen, I only cry about these things sometimes when I start talking about them. But let me tell you something. There ain't no way out but through, my loves. When you have true, not fake it. There are people out there that lie about this shit. And they are the reason that people don't believe people like me. And yeah, you can call me a liar or whatever, but you can also ask my family members about what I'm saying. People who actually have known me for my whole life, you can ask them about this if you can find them. My very long 35-year friend, 35 years we've been friends. She was in my chat the other day. She could tell you. When you have real trauma, it ain't fucking easy. You literally relive the shit every single time you sit down in that chair. You have to. Hindsight's 20/20, dear. If I could go back and do it right so that I didn't destroy the lives of my children, I fucking would. I'd sit in that chair for 60 minutes at a time and relive every piece of it that I had to so that I could get better for my children to come. Because later you'll hear me talk about how bad I wanted to be a mom and a wife. And I just wanted to be that. That's all I wanted to be. So I became a drug addict when my husband and I separated. I further into the drugs, way, way, way further into the dark side than I had ever been up to that point. And I was about 23 or 24. There's an incident out there that was nationwide news that I was tied to because, well, when you get real far into drugs, things happen. And while I wasn't involved, I was attached to it because one of the people that was involved and charged and convicted happened to be my boyfriend at the time. And people can say that they don't believe me, that I didn't know what was going on, but I had no fucking clue. So when you run with drug dealers, you run with trouble. And so I did that. And because I felt so worthless, this is, okay, here we go. This is it. This is the hardest part. And I don't give a fuck. After that, I became homeless again. I did what I needed to do for survival. I did what I needed to do to put a roof over my head. I just did what I needed to do. I wasn't rational. By the way, if you haven't figured that out, I wasn't acting rationally. Now, that doesn't mean that I cannot be held accountable for those irrational behaviors, because I can. Absolutely. They were wrong. The way that I dealt with my separation from my husband and the pending divorce was wrong. It was selfish. And I destroyed lives because of it. I destroyed relationships because of it. Now, again, I did what I needed to do to put a roof over my head. So I think that everybody as an adult can probably figure out what that means coming from a woman. Okay. I did what I needed to do to eat. I did what I needed to do to have a place to sleep that wasn't outside. All right. That's what I did. And let's get back to the video. I think we can get back to the video. There we go.
Do you feel like that's something you've been able to move past?
Shame, by the way, shame.
No.
He's talking
I
about my
hurt for
shame.
who I was.
I hurt. Like, these are not. Oh, hold on. Let me stop. Because I remember how he asked me. Ooh, that's an ugly screen to freaking stop on. Oh, let me get rid of that. Oh, that was an ugly freeze frame on myself. Oh, it's so mean to me. I hope nobody did that. Snapshotted it, whatever. Anyways, so I needed to do what I needed to do. I needed to keep myself sheltered. I needed to survive. And so as a woman, I did what I needed to do that in extremely degenerate ways. Okay? That's what I did. He asked me about unresolved trauma and how it affected my development, right? My development's completely backwards. I literally did not learn how to be a grown-up until about between 6 and 10 years ago. I would say 10 years ago is probably when I started to get some idea. So I was 35. And I think I cut my relationship off with my mother 6 years ago, about 6.5 years, about a little over 6 years ago. The last 6 years have been the hardest and the most, there's been the most growth. It has been hard. It's been extremely difficult because, like most kids, like, I just want my mom, man. Like, I just want to be able to call my mom when I'm having a hard day, you know? And she's alive, right? Like, I get, like, people who are grieving their past parents, like, that sucks. This sucks too, because, like, I could just pick up the phone. She's just a phone call away. You know, so he asked about, like, how it affected my development. Well, it completely made it backwards. I couldn't figure it out. And so how can that help other people? How can, like, now that I'm aware, right? Because the hindsight's 2020, like, how can that help other people? Well, I think simply by sharing the moves that I made and sharing how they legitimately stunted my development and my progression in life and any success that I had ever really wanted or any goals that I really wanted to achieve. Like, I stopped that from being able to happen. And I'll go a little bit into it. So, you know, how can I help someone else with that? Is simply by sharing my story. And I go into it in a little bit. Like, y'all don't have to walk with the devil every day. Some of us already have, and you really should heed our warnings. So let's get back to the video. Felt. I remember it real deep. I remember the hopelessness, the worthlessness. I remember carrying that around for nearly 20 years. And I don't know why every time I had the opportunity to return to God that I allowed Satan, and I say that with all the, I wanted to say gumption. Satan, all the gumption. See, I listened because in the moment, his ways seem so much easier. In the moment, they seem so much easier. The longer you keep responding to in the moment, this is easier, the harder it's going to be for you in the end. Yep. And I don't want anyone to carry around. I understand that a lot of times, like, it gets us where we need to be right back with him, right? It did. It worked for me. I would like to save damn it. That's one L in the chat for me. So what I was going to say is, what I was saying was, I don't mean save as in savior. I mean, save someone the trouble of the consequence of that lifestyle. Most people don't make it out, you know. Statistically, I should be in a much different place, either the grave or the cell. That was where I was headed. So I don't mean save as in like I can save your, like, give you salvation. I mean save you the trouble. I just want to save people the trouble. So let's get back to it. As many people as I possibly can from that torturous walk. You don't actually have to experience all of that torture to be with him. Some of us already did it for you. We are walking epitomes of what it is like to walk with Satan in hell every single day. That's where Dark Side Deaconess comes from. I walked with him every single day. He had control of me every single day.
So would you say then that the name that you now bear online is almost meant as a warning for people that may still be on a similar path to that?
If they are thinking about it, like, I don't forget where I came from. I don't. I remember people talking about how I was a big old piece of shit. I remember people saying that my kids would be better off without me in this world. I remember those things.
Now that you've kind of come through this personal crucible, right? And I use that word kind of intentionally because it's not related to the crucible community online. This is actually a real trial that you've come through, right? I'm just wondering then, what's the goal of your channel and platform? Are you aiming to make it entertaining? Is it about conversation and debate? Is it about expressing your creative work? Is it advocacy? Is it a mix of some of those? Like, what is the actual aim of your channel and what you want to do?
So, for whatever reason, ignorance happens to be one of my biggest pet peeves with people, especially ignorance due to just complete laziness. I do understand the entertainment factor though, right? So people actually are more likely to stop and consume the content if there's an entertaining factor to it, right? So I want to bring in some information, some learning, and some knowledge on multiple different levels in an entertaining way. To give a few examples, we have Monday, we have a new Are You Freaking Kidding Me? And Are You Freaking Kidding Me kind of highlights some of the goofiest things that people do, whether it's committing crimes. I think somebody's knocking on my door. Give me just a second. Okay, nope. Sorry. Oh, so I wanted to add in, obviously, like my content is geared towards adults, right? So I think it's important that as grown-ups, we continue to learn and to not remain lazily ignorant, which means some ignorance is not your fault, right? You just haven't learned about something yet. You don't have knowledge about it, so you're not knowledgeable. You're ignorant to it, right? But when you choose to be ignorant, like someone presents something to you and you just refuse to look into it and still spew ignorant stuff out of your mouth, that is one of my biggest pet peeves. So I think that adults need to continue to learn. And I think that providing that entertainment factor, obviously we're grown-ups. I also don't like to hear a lecture. I'm not a lecture person. I actually am a lecture person, but also some entertaining factor for other people who want that, right? So that's ultimately the goal of my content, is for it to be informational, educational. Go do your own research, right? I give you guys resources on dark origins and whatnot to go do your own research. So I'm going to speed this up through this a little bit. I forget how. This one? Yeah. Okay, we'll go to 1.5. The goofy crimes that people commit. We went over the goofy laws that still are on the books but not enforced. Some in the first episode we watched in Mexico, a priest spray the people with holy water from a water from like a water compressor or whatever. So that was hilarious. Tuesday is Taco Tuesday. So Taco Tuesday allows a deeper level of discussion, but we try to stay away from pointing the finger away from ourselves at others, and try to have a discussion rather from judging the other person's stance and looking at ourselves and why do we believe this certain thing about this topic. And there's Taco Tuesday has a variety of topics. Sometimes we cover, we had been covering a really big case in the state that I live in regarding the 16 children that were found in the house when the dad was having a warrant served on him. So, sometimes we cover that stuff, and that's pretty serious. And we talk about the issues that lead to these types of circumstances. Every other Wednesday, I do a debate dissection. I don't do it from I don't do it the way that a lot of people do it who review debates. I do it from the structural aspect. And so I'm looking at the structure of a person's argument and who is remaining within their own structure, their own framework, and who doesn't. So that's kind of what that review, and that's twice a month. Thursday is Trivia Throwdown. Every single trivia has some kind of knowledge, information, learning aspect into it. We're not just doing it for fun. We're doing it to learn as well. I think a lot of people have been misinformed on certain things, and I think it's important to really take a look at that. Friday and Saturday, we have Dark Origins and Conspiracy Grove. Dark Origins is the history behind lullabies, children's stories, and fairy tales. We've done Tooth Fairy, Boogeyman, Pied Piper, all really fun topics. Not super serious, but it's really fun to learn about the cultural variance of all of these things. Like the Tooth Fairy and the Boogeyman. I think it was exciting. It was exciting to me. And then we have Conspiracy Grove. Now, you'll very rarely find me doing political conspiracy theories, religious conspiracy theories, or anything that leans into those. Why? Well, one, I'm a woman. This is my belief. And I don't believe that I have the authority to go too far into certain religious things and or political things. So I try to stay away from those. Anybody who watched Dark Origins when I did Bloody Mary, I did this interview with Cipher the Wednesday before I did that. And yeah, so I accidentally slid into church history territory, and I didn't mean to. I will do my best not to do that again. Here we go. As far as my content is concerned. But we do some other types of conspiracy theories that are a little less serious, and we can laugh at them. Dark Origins, the same thing. We take a look at the history behind these stories and these lullabies that our parents sang to us at night, and we get a little silly with it. We're not trying to be too serious over here, but we're also trying to learn at the same time. The advocacy part, I am the advocacy. I believe that, but what lies behind the DSD network, my story, the things that I came through, the things that didn't victimize me, but made I'm a survivor of those things. I want other people to understand that they're not alone. You don't have to make excuses for not moving forward. You don't have to. You choose to. I chose to make excuses to keep myself from moving forward. I told myself that I couldn't do things. I placed limitations on myself that no one else was placing on me. So
real quick, talking about helping people and the way different people are struggling, have you already identified causes or charities or different campaigns that you want to support through your channel? And if so, what's drawing you to them?
So one, which was kind of the or one of the influences behind my my infamous grift track. This song is called Trolls Told to Paradise. Most people like to refer to it by a different name. I'm not going to say it here. Everybody knows what they call it. Was breast cancer research. And it was because one of my chatters brought that up. And I thought that that was a really good idea. So one of them that I would like to be able to contribute to is breast cancer research. And the other one is epilepsy research, because I have epilepsy. And among types of epilepsy, my type of the people in the community of people who have epilepsy, my epilepsy is actually one of the most common. I'm going to pause and talk about this because I left this out. I have idiopathic refractory generalized epilepsy with an onset age of 8. Now, all of the things that I went through, mind you, I was having a seizure at least once a year, if not more, especially when I was first diagnosed. So I have to, while I'm homeless, like I have to find some way to afford my medication. I had to learn how to do all of these things on my own, as though I had been thrown away like a piece of trash. So I also navigated my epilepsy journey pretty much by myself for a great deal of time, while having seizures and not telling anybody. So I would come out of a seizure, and the only way that I would know that I had a seizure is because of the postictal feeling, which is so postictal is the state after a seizure. Why are my numbers jumping? It says nobody's watching. That's okay. So let's go ahead and get back to the video. And the least researched. We know the least about the most common type of epilepsy among individuals with epilepsy. So that's the other one so far that I've thought about.
Awesome. So I know a lot of people out there, when you talk about raising awareness, they get on board. When you talk about raising money, that's where the proposition gets a little more difficult for them, right? Because times can be tight for a lot of people financially. How do you see a platform like yours being useful for coordinating real help getting out there to people, whether it's helping with crowdfunding, mutual aid, or something else that you have in mind? Like, what do you see happening with your channel as a result?
You want my big dream?
Yes.
Okay. This is my big dream. One, I would like to get married again. Okay. So my big dream involves a husband. So my big dream is to have a husband and to make so much money on my channel that we can get in an RV and go help people. I don't know what go help people really looks like, but go help people. And I think that go help people will most likely be the demographics identified by my subscribers as individuals who are in need of help, because people are more likely to be charitable when they have knowledge. So that's why community charities are so much more effective than a charity 1,000 miles away. So
yeah, when you know who's impacted, it has a human face to it. And so, yes, people are more willing to chip in. I love the idea of you getting in an RV and, touring around, because then that even adds this layer of like travelogue to your channel, right? Where like you and this future husband of yours can like record going across the country and stopping in on people and helping them. And I think that actually sounds really exciting. What if it was like a Publisher Clearinghouse where you just deliver these big checks to people and it's like, because it's me. It's your
look, I see people doing that. I see people doing that. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh my God, You're never going to be there. You're never going to be able to do that. You know what? I'll tell you what. They're only right if one thing happens. They're only right if I believe them. And part of my problem has been believing people every time they tell me I can't do something.
All right. Well, then I kind of a follow-up question on the heels of you mentioning just living with epilepsy and how it shapes daily life to an extent. What would you share with others who are dealing with similar challenges, to help keep their heads up or to get linked in with resources that they might not be familiar with?
The online community has been a great deal of help. And I know that sounds back-ass words. Okay. I know that. Sorry for the little cuss there, but I know that sounds very backwards. I don't suggest that people immerse themselves in it and then it's just that. But going outside of my home by myself is not the greatest idea. I actually should not be driving for leisure, and I do my best not to. I usually drive to go to the grocery store and or some other task that I have to drive. I can't avoid driving for. So grocery store, doctor's appointments, things of that nature. That's what I drive for, which means that I spend a lot of time in my house. So with in real life friends that have busy lives, they have jobs, they have children. A lot of my friends have small children. I found myself in an online community, and it's helped because I have met people. I've actually in real life met people. If you see this person down here below us, was the first person and his wife that I met in real life.
He was the
And
second.
They have both been
The first I
huge
met
help for
was a
me.
female
Them
that's
and many
local
other
to
people,
me.
including you. I forgot. So another person in my little community, she hooked me up with an application for a job working from home, because while working from home is the best for me and people in my position, if we can minimize ourselves driving, it puts us at less risk and it puts other people at less risk. So I would definitely suggest that at a digestible level, not where it becomes the only thing that you do, but definitely like open up, to your online communities a little bit, and get to know them, because you may have something to offer one of them and one of them may have something to offer you, but no one's ever going to know if the conversation doesn't take place.
Awesome. So revisiting just the
So I just want to clarify on that. When I say that they may have something to offer you and you may have something to offer them, I'm talking about like support, like, they may be able to relate. They may have navigated through such a situation before, and they may be able to help you navigate through a situation that you're in, right? I don't mean that you go out and make transactional relationships. That's not what I mean at all. So I just want to clarify that, because it sounded to me very transactional the way I said it, and that's not the way I intended for it to come out.
one of the points that you raised earlier, you are now the mother of adult children, and looking at the pressures that young women today are facing when it comes to material pursuits, career, independent marriage, family. A lot of them are foregoing their childbearing years, as we know, and they are, pursuing academics and diving into careers, and marriage and family seems to be kind of a secondary concern. And you somehow kind of bucked that norm, thankfully, gratefully, right? But what would you want them to hear from someone who, while maybe the road wasn't without its bumps along the way, you've made it, kiddo, and you're where you're at now.
So I'm going to pause this and I'm going to be really transparent, because I know when people in my real life see this, if they do see this, they're going to say some things. So I didn't have a great deal of, my younger daughter was mostly raised by her dad and her stepmom. My younger daughter does not wish to have a relationship with me, and she is allowed that. It's hurtful. It is. But I also know that she got handed a pretty shitty stick, not just by me. But I'm not going to bring up her dad's business, because that's her dad's business. But both of us did a pretty shitty job as far as our daughters are concerned. So she's allowed to have her opinion of me, her feelings towards me, her thoughts towards me, her beliefs towards me, whatever. I love her. I can't say that I don't. And I absolutely understand why she feels the way that she does towards me. So I won't I won't say anything bad about that. My older daughter is has been headed down a pretty similar path to myself. She doesn't have children. That's one good thing, right, for now. But you know, I pray for her every day, and I just ask God to keep her wrapped up and bring her home to me however He sees fit. So that's a difficult thing to deal with. And when you got kids out there doing things that you thought you taught them one way or another not to do, whew, man. Yeah, AVG, I wasn't a good mom at the back then, you know, and I can see how my daughters could be a little bit resentful because my son got the good part, my son got the healing me. Now, my son didn't live like the easiest life, but I've been able to keep it together better. And I could see how my daughters could have some resentments towards me for that. And even towards him, even though it's not his fault. So when it comes to my son, if you look at my oldest and my youngest, you can definitely see that there was probably a difference in the parenting or the involvement of the mother. I pretty much I was married a second time. My husband, we were divorced. We divorced as well. And then he passed away a few months later. So I did have a little bit of help along the line, you know, kind of. I had some relatively long-term relationships since my son was born. Not with my son's father for reasons that I'm not going to discuss on the internet. But my son definitely got the better end of the stick, which is also, and I will say it is unfair to my daughters. I should have done, I said it, like hindsight's 2020. I had a lot of things that needed to be dealt with, and I had a lot of things that needed to be compartmentalized before I went on to have a family of my own. So I think that my biggest warning is for women, young women who have been in situations like I have discussed and or worse. Please get help if you desire to have a family and children. If after everything that you've been through, you still desire to have a family and whatnot, please get help before you do so, and don't allow your trauma to bleed all over your children, because it's not theirs to deal with in any way, shape, or form. So with that, I'll get back to my video.
Now, successfully having reared these children in the world, so you've proven it can be done. What would you say to those women who are saying, like, it can't be done and I need to focus on this path of, you know, material instead?
I think you really have to ask yourself what you're willing to sacrifice. When I had my first two children, I was married. I definitely would not suggest that you just go out and start making babies with whoever. But I definitely don't think that you should be waiting until you're 25 to start finding someone to have a family with. I think that, I mean, unless you're going to have them back to back, like, and that's starting at 25, you know. But anyways, you know, it's I wanted to be a mother so badly. All I ever wanted to be from a young age was a mom. I had names. Okay, I had names for my kids. I was going to have one boy and one girl. I ended up with two girls and one boy. I had a little construction paper book that I made that had my future written in it. I wanted to be a mom. I wanted to be a wife. And yep, I wanted the cliche, the white picket fence. I wanted it. I think that most women have that desire. And I think most women lie when they say that they don't. I think most women push it down because society tells them that they need to in order to get out there and do what they have to do. And I think that that happens because of the progression of Western culture. So yeah, we could go into more into feminism there, but you know.
Of course, yeah. But there is definitely a social pressure to sort of calcify those desires for oneself and for everyone to sort of not pursue what traditionally would have been pursued by virtually everyone, right? So it's an interesting thing. And I guess I commend you for, in your way, bucking that trend and sort of, you know, making your dream on your construction paper book a reality to the best of your ability, right? So what I would then ask is 5 years from now, what would make you look at your channel and feel like it did what it was supposed to do?
I think it already did.
So
I'm going to be honest. I mean, it touched one person, and that's, I know people are like, oh, well, da-da-da. But no, the thing is I don't do this for myself. Yes, I do this for myself income wise, because right now I have no other option. I am at the mercy of charitable individuals. So I attempt to return the favor by providing content at an entertaining level as best I can.
Okay.
As far as my channel doing what it's supposed to do and me looking at it and going, yep, it did it. Like, I can already do that. I have had people say things to me, you know, and in ways in that I have maybe helped them see something a little clearer, or maybe help them understand something a little better. Helped them maybe feel better about themselves. I don't, you know, in their own abilities. I've already done that. And so my channel has done what it has done. My goal is to do more of it.
Awesome. Well, I would hope that anyone watching this can see the level of authenticity and sincerity that you're approaching this enterprise with. And hopefully everyone can join me in wishing you much success in really pursuing kind of creating that outreach over and over and actually connecting with people that way. It's a good thing that you're after with that. So with that being said, my final question is, what do you want a new viewer to do after watching this? Is it subscribe, join a conversation, support a cause? Like what should someone do?
I want you to do all of those things. I want the new viewer to, I want you to like this video. I want you to hit that. I want you to subscribe. I want you to hit the bell so that you get all the notifications so you never miss a single thing. And I want you to go out there and make a difference in one person's life, if not more today. That's what I want.
Beautiful.
For my new viewers.
All right. Well,
touch grass.
Yeah, no, it's great. Anything else that you want to add that you think we didn't cover?
Oh, I think it's important that I give some credit where credit is due to specific individuals who have helped me on the line and or communities. And I think that I've come out the Hold on, something is happening. Let me try this again. The other side. This is going very slow. Hold on. Uh-oh. Something is very wrong here. I don't know what's happening. Let me go ahead and close this. Where am I at? What's my timestamp?
So with that being said, my final question is, what do you want a
Okay, 26. Is it moving better now?
new viewer to do after watching this? Is it subscribe, join a conversation?
No, I'm gonna, okay. So I am going to reshare that because something is going on with it. Yeah, it was like the saved file video was like messing up, which is probably because my computer is bared down. Hold on. Let me close some stuff out. Okay, let's try it again. Okay. Let me get it back up for you guys on the screen. Excuse me. Yes. Sorry. At least StreamYard's working. You know? StreamYard has been like, it was bogged down last night, I guess. All right, let's get back to this. Let's see what he asks here. In ways in that I have maybe
doing kind of creating that outreach over and over and actually connecting with people that way. It's a good thing that you're after with that. So with that being said, my final question is, what do you want a new viewer to do?
To have helped me on the line and or communities. Okay, so during, and I think that, okay, so this is This is where, hi Bree. All right. This is where I do because he asked me about something that we didn't cover yet. Okay. And I wanted to give a shout out to, I do give the shout out to Andrew, but mostly I would like to give my thanks out loud to the Foundry and the people of the Foundry. All of the individuals that I interacted with that either helped me see some negative things about myself that needed to be improved or changed completely or let go of completely. Everyone, regardless of anything that has occurred, I am very grateful for the Foundry. And if you don't know what the Foundry is, then I'm sorry. The Foundry people know what the Foundry is. Because when I was just lost. Like, I didn't have an identity. Like, I'm telling you guys, these last 10 years have not been easy. I didn't know who I was without my mother. Like, I had no identity in myself. I just had no idea who I was. There I was, like 35 years old, and had no idea who I was. And I think that the time that I spent in the Foundry helped me to discover that a little bit more. Yes, AVG. He probably hates me, but it's fine. I don't care. I'll say it. I say it. Like, I love that community. I love that community with all my heart, the people in it. That's all. Because ultimately, it did serve me a purpose. I don't know if I served anybody a good purpose in there. But yes, the outcome. Here I am. The process was one of ripping weeds out, right? You have to take the weeds out the garden to let the flowers bloom so that the flowers can grow. So getting the weeds out of the way, I'm extremely grateful. Okay, let's put that one up on the screen. And who can forget where we first met, the Invaders, where DSD terrorized every new female recruit. Listen, I did some things in some extreme ways. I was just trying to figure myself out, okay? I was trying to figure out what my rhetoric was. I was not. You are a fibber. How dare you? I was not ever mean to you. Anyways, let's get back to this. There's not much left of it. Let's get finished, and so I can open this panel. Remember, it's Taco Tuesday, so there's no fine to open the panel. Or no fee. I've come out the other side. Oh, it's fucking frozen again. There we go, cousin. Hold on. Knowing who I am. It's only frozen for you guys. What my purpose is. Knowing that I have not actually failed God in the way that I think that I did. I am serving my purpose. I don't have a purpose to look for. It's already within me. I know who I am today, and I have to give credit to that community. I have to give credit to the Crucible. I love that community with my whole heart, and I appreciate everything that they have shown me not to do and shown me to do, and what I have learned in between.
I think that was a very wonderful addition. All right, so you mentioned previously the importance of kind of finding that online community of people who have been like-minded and that you've connected with. Tell me a little bit more about how that's played into your development as an online content creator and what you've learned from those relationships, and any shout outs that you might want to give.
Well, I gave a few. Actually, I didn't, because I'm going to do it right now. Okay. So also at the end of this video, I realized that I left people out. Okay. I shouted I did say a couple of people, but mostly here in a minute, I'm going to give credit to Andrew, Mr. E, and Rachel. But I would like to officially shout out AVG, my top bish, my best internet bish friend. I want to give a shout out to Mr. Cure for teaching me how to debate structurally by teaching me about Austrian economics. I would like to give a shout out to Avarice for teaching me how to know my limits in a debate. And when I start to shake on the inside, that means my thermometer has gone up and I need to disengage, even if that means being made fun of for quote unquote running. My health is more important than a debate. So he taught me that. Let's see. Mr. Cipher. Mr. Cipher teaches me how to be a better person every day. Mr. Filthy Phil, you're very, very missed. And I know that we spoke yesterday and you got things going on, but you are very, very missed. He is one of the best moderators that I have. Mr. Crucible Crusader, for being also a very dedicated moderator to my channel and taking care of tardos when they come around. Miss Common Circles, you ma'am, are much appreciated. Miss Common Circles is the one that sent me that link for the work from home job, and she is here as much as she possibly can be within her work schedule, but she too is a very dedicated moderator. I give shout out to Speakeasy. Jared Speaks, because he made me feel like my lyrics to my songs weren't just for me, that they actually helped somebody else instead of just me, because my lyrics are my therapy. So thank you for letting me know that that I'm not alone and that those prayers can go further than me. I know I am missing a lot of people, and I know some of you are probably in this chat. Original Vintage, for constantly boosting me up and telling me that I'm going to have 1 million subscribers one day. Infected Mushroom for being my #1 simp. Even if he's mad at me, he still comes in here and be's my #1 simp. Crucible Crusader. And Tootie. And Mushroom. Also let me know that I'm not alone with my epilepsy. That there are other people out there that either struggle with it with a family member or themselves. Man, I'm missing so many people. Mr. Fortress, for teaching me not to be a big baby, for teaching me how to self-deprecate better than anybody ever can deprecate me. Oh, man. Anybody I missed, yell at me in chat or in the replay comments. Glacier Maniac, Wicked Wally and Mrs. Wicked, RDR King, Degen Disciple, White Rabbit, How Long Nate, all of you. Man, shut up, lady. Get on with the drifting. All right. If I'm telling you, like, if I forgot you, you can be mad at me in the comments, because there are so many names that I think that Rob Noor and his wife, when I met them at DebateCon in Nashville. Also, I learned I'm not alone in my epilepsy journey. other people, man, yeah, we're not having a real crybaby moment. I'm having a gratitude crybaby moment because I feel like I'm missing people and it makes me feel bad. World Radio, RLM, Denison, Daddy Rob, Rob the Professional or whatever he goes by now. Man. Again, you guys can yell at me in the comments if I forgot you. You can be mad at me. I will take the heat. All right, let's get back to this video. You're right, Nate. Shut up, lady. I left a couple out, and I apologize for that.
Well, so what did those initial days of trying to find your way in the online streaming and debate community and being an online entertainer look like for you? Because, like, I can't imagine, did you just take to it like a fish to water, or were there things that you had to learn from people along the way?
So as far as the individuals that I have met along the way, well, that's owed to Andrew Wilson, okay? Because had I not found Andrew Wilson, I may very well have not found all of these other people, including you. As far as actually being on the screen, Speakeasy. So Speakeasy's channel was where I made my first debut. I actually went on, I think, a couple of his panels, like for his one panel purge night and another night. I didn't really do too much. And then there was a debate between Leah Bobia and Love Beautifully, where I really kind of made my entrance as that loose cannon, because I could not.
We'll watch that if you want to.
I got so frustrated with listening to her use personal insults, and people kept urging me to hit the link, DSD, hit the link. And I'm like, listen, like, I know exactly what's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to be good for me or good for her, but I hit that link. And after I went off on her, I dropped because I had to. I had to reset myself, and I was able to go back up there, and I was able to do a little bit. And there were comments. Does DSD have a channel? What's DSD's channel? She needs to have a channel. So that is what ultimately led to me really getting and digging into this panel. So the streamer part of it, shout out and credit really goes to Speakeasy. Mr. E, who is Andrew Wilson's and the Crucible's producer. He just blows my mind. And I mean that in a professional way. He knows what he's doing. And so when I think about,
I'll show you after this video is
done. I think about, I don't know everything, right? I don't know everything that he did to help develop Andrew's channel. But I pay a lot of attention to it. I pay a lot of attention to how he moves and how he suggests the channel moves and the viewers and the things that he is saying when he's actually on the stream. Like, I'm paying a lot of attention to that because he has helped to create one of the most successful streamers in our subset of communities.
Legitimately,
legitimately,
Andrew is the #3 top super chatted channel on YouTube. I confirmed it the other day. There are only 2 above him. One is a sports podcaster or something. I forget who the other one. And then there's Andrew. So not only is he one of the biggest creators in our like sphere of communities, he's also one of the top creators on YouTube. So I think that his producer is worth listening to, given that information. Rachel Wilson. The moment I heard her backstory, I don't want to use the word obsessed. I don't, because I'm not obsessed. I'm not obsessed.
I am in adoration. I think that she is a beautiful human being, and she came from some really hard stuff. And she's doing what I dreamed to do, maybe. I don't know if
Maybe.
I ever want to be on that debate stage. It's a little bit stressful, right? I don't want to be having a seizure in front of everybody while I'm doing the best at a debate, right? Haha, just a joke. A little humor in there. But I admire her. I admire that through all the difficulties that she endured, that she has raised her children. She is a proud mother, and now
And a
she
proud
is
wife.
out there fighting for some of the same things that I am fighting for, and that is, young ladies, stay away from.
Hold on a minute. I'm not saying that this is Rachel's mission. I'm stating that Rachel's mission is similar to mine, and this is my message.
The devil, he wears
The devil
many
wears.
shades
Stay away from
of
him.
three-piece suits, and he comes bearing a lot of promises that he will not fulfill.
He comes in the form of our government too.
I admire her for her message, and I relate to her on some levels, and I think the biggest thing that I relate to her with is wanting to keep our young women safe,
They're pinned in
and
chat.
wanting to grow
Crucible Crusader.
our society. And yeah, there are some bad men
I
out
know.
there, and they identify themselves pretty well. You just have to be discerning, and you need to learn it from somewhere. So that might go into a whole nother conversation that is not fit for this interview.
Well, there's been a few different things, and I think it's good that along the way in responding to the questions that were posed to you today, you have left a number of breadcrumbs that are going to
I hope to
potentially
one day.
interest viewers to
I
dig
might
in
be
more
old and
to what
used
you
up, but-
published, and to also tune in for the next streams that you host, because these are somewhat frequently touched on, and there's a healthy amount of discourse, and I again, your channel has been one that is a bit of a refuge from the amount of acrimony and anger that we see online. So I hope that people will be able to kind of grapple with some of those topics in a good faith manner, and also with just a little bit of levity and friendliness that is sometimes absent in the discussion, because I think you do a good job of facilitating that. That wraps up all of the questions that I had. I hope through this video people get to know you a little bit better, and take the plunge of, it's a subscription, folks. Hit subscribe and then watch her when she goes live. It's not hard. This isn't a tall ask, folks, but in all seriousness, people have a decision and a choice when it comes to what they watch, and there's only so many hours in the day. So I know, DSD, you aim to provide that entertainment that's also edifying and kind of sheds light on things that are not frequently covered as topics. So it's also a very chill environment. So for what that's worth, because I think sometimes people are looking for a refuge online, and it can be difficult to find that when everything is like head-to-head debate battle, let's fight, or let's do the man on the street reporting, where guess what they're doing? Fighting. So I commend you, DSD, for what you're offering the online community, both in the form of outreach and fellowship and entertainment and education. So kudos to you. It's a bright future you got ahead of it.
I hope so. That's what we're looking for, God willing.
Yes.
I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Panel links in chat.
She walks in smiling, never backs away. Calls it like she sees it every single day. Life threw punches, she threw back twice. Now she's living free and rolling the dice. Let the past where it belongs. Break into songs. Built herself without a crown. Now she's lifting others up instead of backing down. They come swinging, she just grins. Game starts over. Guess who wins? Hey, she's the dark side deaconess.
That's it. So I'm going to take a little break
just like a couple minutes. What is that girly man voice? No, I'm still here. So the link is in chat. I'm actually going to start a pot of coffee and leave you guys with some music before I step away. Oh, good God. I'll take down this because, I mean, who cares? Who cares if you want a panel? It is an open panel Tuesday, so we're going to go ahead and get that panel started. Did I just boot him out of StreamYard? No, that video was very edited. Yeah, so I'll leave you guys with some music real quick, and then I'll come back and we'll watch my LB videos. And Lawrence can learn who LB is. And then anybody who has yet to see what really boosted me into doing this. Also, the GoFundMe part. I actually had the GoFundMe prior to the channel. And when people were urging me to, like, come on, we need you to have a channel, I thought, you know, it would be a good way to give something back while asking for, like, financial support, right? I don't really want a handout. I prefer a hand up. And if the only thing that I can do for my virtual community is create some kind of entertaining content, well, by goodness, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to leave you guys with Megaphone Goblin.
Morning with the full-blown debate. Left side's yelling hustle, right side says it can wait. One's got a planner, one's binging regret, and someone in the corner's not dressed yet. There's a voice with a megaphone, a critic with a pen, a therapist in training, and a goblin named What If Again. It's a civil war behind my eyes. No peace talks, just compromise. My skull. Got one part quoting things I've read, another doom scrolling me straight to bed. There's future me screaming, please behave, while present me digs a social grave. There's a moral philosopher and a tired raccoon, and they're arguing ethics at 3 in the afternoon. It's a civil war behind my eyes. No peace talks, just compromise. Half of me's wise, half sabotaged, and both think they're the voice of God. Raise the flag, then burn it down. Spin the wheel, I'm losing ground. If sanity's a town, I'm just a tour of the civil war inside my skull. This is where I get weird and specific. The serene saint says, forgive. Anxious accountant says, keep score. One slamming every emotional door. The theologian sighs, grace is free. You're loved for your whole soul. The philosopher asks, what even is self and who's in control? The therapist says, name your needs, we'll set a smaller goal. I just blink and say, so am I normal? Ceasefire called at 2 a.m. Nobody wins, we fight again.
You want the clip, want the heat, want the crowd to pick a side, but it's all recycled paint on a cardboard horse you ride. You type in all caps like it's life or death for a content war and a 2-line thread. Don't let them drive your mood. Don't let them drive your mood. Reacting to the bullshit means you lose. Don't let them drive your mood. Same old mess, same old stew, same old names in the feed. Don't let them drive your mood.
I love this song.
They win for free. I saw the setup, I know, but the whole town loves a fight when everyone thinks they're right. Clip your face, twist the quote, make a circus out of shame, then cheer for every side like they never played the game. And the drama mongers grin at the wreck they made, holding up popcorn in a comment parade. Don't let them drive your mood. Don't let them drive your mood. Reacting to the bullshit means you lose.
What is happening? What is even this?
Same old mess, same old stew, same old
Same old names in the feed.
Don't let them drive your mood. That's how they win for free. Tell me why we hand out keys to people
We've never met.
One angry post, one smug little laugh, and your whole day's a wreck. Don't let them drive your mood. Don't let them
After this
drive
song,
your mood.
And I gotta wait for my coffee to get down before we watch the speakeasy thing. But we will, promise.
Drive your mood. Same old mess, same old stew, same old names in the feed. Don't let them drive your mood. That's how they win for free.
She said suck
Let
it.
them clown, let them write it down. Let them write all the books you don't even
I'm a litigator, Avarice.
build their little
Calm down.
that tab and choose your own
Suck it. That's my brother and sister arguing in chat.
Drama-mongers laugh and move on through. Don't let them drive your mood.
Yo, I discovered new coffee creamer. Just you hold on a minute. I'm showing you. First of fucking all, my two favorite flavors are butterscotch and caramel. And well, my third is toffee. This, you see this cauldron cake? It was perfect for me, right? Because my cauldron of tears, I have a cauldron of tears, mostly filled with Uncle Tom's tears from my early career days, like 2 months ago in my early career. This fucking creamer is so good. If you can get it near you and you don't mind chemical cream, that's just soy. It's soy. Coffee Mate makes their non-dairy. Non-dairy. Yeah, non-dairy. So if you're dairy intolerant or whatever, you can get this. This is delicious. Especially if you're a Harry Potter fan. It's really good. They have another one too. Chocolate frog. But I don't really like mochas, so I didn't buy it. Checking it out, checking it out. All right, let me get this speakeasy thing pulled up. I think I have it in one of my playlists. Hold on. Or my appearances. I play it like a portion of it in my intro video. So let me go to my playlists. It should be in my appearances. Yerp. Okay, so let me pause. Rewind it. Rewind it back. Okay. If you want to watch this on your own time, just because watching it with us wasn't enough for you. Well, you'll see the title of the video is A Little Fun Over at Speakeasy. Bat milk. I don't know. It is right there in the chat, Graham. All right, I'm going to play this video. Oh, there's no. Oh,
Your grandchildren, if
hold
your
on.
daughter,
Skirt.
sorry for your daughters and your grandchildren. If your daughter is not estranged from you, I would be surprised.
I feel sorry for any man that has to look at you on a daily basis.
You are, nobody wants to look at you. You don't even have a camera up. Get out of here. You could.
The only reason I don't have my camera on is because I have poor lighting
The
right
only
now, but I
reason you don't
really
have
would
your
like to
camera
turn
on
this
is
look
because
right now.
Look,
Why do you have
I
yours
really
on?
like, look, all you have been able to do is come up here and insult every person that pushes back
and
on
you
your
all
illogical
needed and
argument.
deserved
Are you ready?
very well.
Are you ready?
You all
So
needed
you would
them.
call yourself a bodily autonomy advocate. Would that be correct?
bodily autonomy as it pertains to my body and what
Advocate.
grows
My-
inside of it.
So a
My
bodily
body.
autonomy advocate. Okay, so I have
Only
a
for
hypothetical
herself.
for you. I got a hypothetical for you. So you say that the baby
Graham.
inside is dependent on the woman. So the woman should be able to choose whether or not she keeps that child, correct?
Right.
Okay. So hypothetical, the baby can only survive from the mother's milk. There's no alternative food source. Does the woman have the bodily autonomy right to say, I don't want to feed the baby?
I think that if that's the
No, I
case,
want a yes or no.
Let me answer your question. You're not
Yes
gonna
or no,
dictate
bitch.
how I answer. She
Yes or
needs to
no,
make
bitch.
That choice before
Yes
she
or no,
has the
bitch.
baby. So she's
Yes
not
or no,
willing to
bitch.
feed the baby.
Yes
She said,
or no, bitch.
"Well,
I can yell, I can yell, I can yell. You fucking cunt. Yes
You're
or
a
no?
cunt. You think a
Yes
woman's
or
job
no?
is to sit here to
And that's what I
reproduce.
thought. You
don't
have
have
no
an original
fucking
thought in
argument.
your
All
fucking
you
brain,
do is
bitch.
sit here and
A
tell
bird
people
flew into the
how
room
bad
when you
they
were
are.
born.
Jeez.
Oh, you are
Brains with
sitting here
you.
saying that it is okay to walk away from a baby that can only survive from you, you nasty fucking human.
You're
I'm
a
out.
nasty bitch. I said they need
I'm
to
out.
abort it if they don't.
And then
Love
she's.
beautifully. Let other people finish too,
Oh, here it
and
is.
then let's get some back and forth going.
This
And
is
you
when I
got
came
you
back.
got Witchy on your side here too.
So I want to bring it back to the question that I originally asked when I came up here before I got too angry to stay up here. And that was the question that if your child was born and your milk is the only thing that they could survive off of, there was no other food source, that because you are a bodily autonomy advocate, you have the right to walk away from that child. But you state that you're a Christian. So that directly conflicts with your Christian worldview. How do you reconcile that?
I believe in God, not religion. You know, there's a lot of things in the Bible that I don't agree with, like the Numbers 31:18, where they say.
How do you
"Take every
reconcile walking
little
away from your
girl."
own child when you're the only thing they can live off? That's all I asked you.
I wouldn't have the child in the first place if I wasn't willing to take care
So
of
the
it. That's
child
why
is
I'm
born.
for
The child is
abortion.
born because you wanted it. And now that the child is born, this child can only survive off of your milk. Do you still believe that because this child has to survive off of your body, that due to your bodily autonomy advocate stance, you have the right to walk away from that child and allow it to die?
Back
Just
in the
answer.
days,
Just
a
answer the
woman
question.
could only,
Yes
well, let
or
me
no?
answer
Just
it. Listen,
answer
I'm
the
not a
question.
slave. I'm going to answer it how I want to answer it. You're
Oh
going
my
to
It's
God.
yeah, it's a
Oh, I
yes or
got
no
to say.
question. It's very
You
simple.
are going to hear my answer. Now listen.
No, you're
Back
gonna
in the
monologue.
days,
It's a yes or
woman could
no.
only live.
I didn't say back in the days. I'm talking about right now, hypothetically. Do you have the right to
you
walk away
have
from
no
a child
leg
that
to
can
stand on,
only
and your argument is bullshit.
do
so
you
gotta
have
make a
the right
hypothetical.
as a bodily autonomy advocate to walk away from a
Anyway,
child
the
that can
whole
only
point
survive
is-
off of your milk?
The whole point is
You're never
if you
gonna
don't
get an
want to take
Your
care
words
of your
Yeah,
child,
well,
you
I
shouldn't
want
have an
this to
abortion.
go on as long as it possibly can so everybody can see how fucking ignorant she is.
You're ignorant. You don't even have a leg to stand on, so you got to.
I got
talk
two
about
legs.
Answer the question.
I got two legs. What are you talking
I
about?
speak in reality. You speak in hypothetical.
Well, hypotheticals are used to test your
Bullshit.
logic, which is why I said the only
You
thing
don't
that
have
you should
logic.
remember about
You have
me
to
is me
use the
telling you how
hypothetical. There's
illogical
enough
you
real
are.
and factual information
That's all.
for
But
us
just
to
remember
judge
that
off
one
of
thing.
what the
You're
information
doing
is
an
already
apples
there.
and
Fine.
oranges here. Walking away from a baby you gave birth to and carried for 9 months is not the same thing as an abortion. You're pulling
That's the
apples
same
and
thing
oranges
as having
out of
an
your
Hey,
adoption.
eyes.
Witchy, this is her own argument. Unless you were you watching earlier, this is literally her own argument that I'm asking her about.
No. This
Maybe
is
you
some
should
shit
watch the
made
debate.
up.
No, it's not. We have
No,
asked
it's
you
not, 'cause
multiple
nobody said
times
anything about
if
them
there
breast
was a
milk.
if
I
it's
said if you're not willing
2050
to
and we
take
have
care of that
artificial
child, then
wombs
you should have
and
an
you can
abortion.
transplant
Point
your
blank,
child
period.
from your womb to that artificial womb, but you had to be attached via an umbilical
You
cord for
bitches
6
wanna make
months
up
after
all the
gestation.
hypothetical
Should you be
situations
able
in
to
the
walk
world
away
because
from that?
you know
I
deep
was
down
just
inside
giving the
that it's a woman's
hypothetical
body
a
and
little
her choice.
different phrasing.
Now, I
I
do
just
have
made
to
it a
leave.
different
I'll be back.
hypothetical. It was the same idea, and you're still just as
Same
retarded as
principle.
the last time it was asked.
Bitch, you're retarded and you're ugly and your pussy
thank
look like
you.
it stank from the way you
Oh.
act.
That's
But
a
I gotta
compliment
go.
coming from her.
I'll
You're
be back.
being beautiful. So she's the ugly one. So just so you know,
You're
you're beautiful.
Ugly
You're
bitches
beautiful.
are gonna
I don't-
flock together.
You are
and hype
beautiful.
each other up.
I appreciate
Bitches
you,
are
but
mid.
what she's saying about my physical attributes has no
What she's
bearing
saying about
because
me
she
not having any
has
lips, and me
illustrated
having a big
how
ass forehead
fucking
that they could
stupid she
project a
really
movie
is.
on,
And
and
ugly.
me having a crooked ass potato
Who does she think
nose.
is pretty?
her.
Who's
Look
an
at her
example of a
face.
pretty
Listen, this is
person?
my English
And you look
bulbous
like the
nose.
same.
It's Kim Kardashian.
Don't
I'm
even
gonna,
have
My
a
I'm
English
gonna laugh
bulbous.
at
I
it.
haven't watched this
Oh.
full video in a minute.
If I
that's-
feel sorry for you,
hold
I'm
on.
going to vote for you.
Okay,
Oh, wait a minute. I voted for my.
That was my debate with Kieran. So yeah, that was that was exactly how I got, like, that was the final nudge. The comments in the chat that night were pretty much the final nudge. Like, does DSD have a channel? She needs to have a channel. Where is her channel? And so I did it. And so my channel exists today. How are you, Graham? Welcome up. Can you hear me, sir? Uh-oh. When was that? 2 months ago? Welcome in. Shower curtain dress detected, opinion rejected. I don't know what happened to Graham, but I cannot hear him if he, I don't know, maybe he went to do something. I'm going to pour my cup of coffee, so I will be right back.
You should be able to hear me.
Can I hear you now?
You should be able to hear me.
Okay, now I can hear you. I couldn't hear you before, or if you were talking. I don't know if you were talking or not. Yes, Lawrence, she was extremely obnoxious. There's a part where I come back up when the guys are, I have to find that one. Because what Easy did that night was he made the beginning of the panel just women. So when he first opened the panel after Leah Bobia's and Love Beautifully's debate, it was only women that were allowed to join. And then when the guys came back up, or when the guys started coming up, I had left and came back, and somebody was like, "Oh yeah, she's back." And then you hear LB go, oh, look, squirrel's back. And Avarice goes, that's Skeletora. She's Skeletora. And I say, you call me whatever these men tell you to call me, like a good girl. That was my
Before,
favorite part. Go ahead, Graham.
before you run away,
Yeah.
can I just commend you on your honesty about the last hour or hour and a half, whatever it was? I don't think I've ever heard such honesty on YouTube.
It's not me.
Don't
yes,
bullshit.
I'm willing.
Don't
It's
bullshit.
willing.
No.
I'm
No.
yes, thank you.
No,
Okay, you want me to take
no.
credit for my honesty?
Yes.
If I
ma'am.
lie, I have consequences. Not here.
I didn't ask you about that.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't thank you. I appreciate I have a hard time. I'm sorry. I have a hard time accepting compliments. This is extremely clear to me. Because I prefer to people to because I'm used to people telling me what a big piece of shit I am. So I have a hard
Well-
time accepting the good things that people say. So please,
Well,
sir,
listen,
go ahead.
how about you do this, right? How about you do this? Turn around and fucking bend over. Okay? And I'll give you a compliment.
Whew. Thank you.
Could I be more honest?
Sure.
Just take it, darling, just take it. It's not a big deal. Do you know why it's not a big deal? It's because it came from yourself. And that's why it's such a great compliment. Go on, take a breath and tell me I'm wrong. What?
Hold on, I'm trying to be thoughtful in my response.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be thoughtful.
Just say it.
I am a willing participant in my father's movements of the way my feet go, if that makes any sense. I will no longer deny his direction and think that I can do this better than he can. And I mean that by God, by Christ. I mean that Christ God.
I get it. I got it.
And if I lie to myself,
I got it.
like, yeah, if I lie to you
Stop.
guys, I lie to me.
Stop talking.
Okay.
I already got it. I understand, but it took you a long time to get it. Yeah. Some people get it very early, some people not so much. And that's not even a female thing. Sometimes it's a male thing also. You know, none of us are perfect.
Nope. Unless your name is Jesus Cristo and you and your whole self-created earth, no, you're not God.
Or unless our name is Graham, then we get it.
You know, sometimes, you know, I don't know. There was a time when I regretted my whole life. This shit was hard, man. I regretted ever being here. You know, like.
Yeah, sure.
And then I realized I woke up one day and I was like, man, my life is shitty. But good Lord, look at all of this beauty around me. And I wake up and breathe every day. And I was just like, who the fuck am I
to shit all over whatever I had to go through to get me to be who I'm supposed to be. Like, it just fucking happened, right? It's just life for some
So when
people.
was that? When was that exactly?
I would say probably in the spring of 2020 when I had my last like severe, I had what's called a post-traumatic relapse. So it's I don't know if you know what that is. I don't know if many people know what it is. I was pretty much in like a state of psychosis. And I was curled up in a ball on my bathroom floor, crying with the water running so that my boyfriend at the time and my son couldn't hear it. And I was thinking about any type of medication that I had in my house at my disposal. And all of a sudden, I felt this like sudden, look, I'm going to describe it how I've been describing it, and I don't give a fuck who fucking says anything about the way I describe this, okay? It literally felt like God ripped me up off the floor and told me to remember who the fuck I was. And I know that God doesn't probably use that language, but that's what it felt like.
Yes, sure.
And I am his.
Sure. Let's put that aside for a moment. When do you think that a normal person felt the same way? When do you think that happened?
I don't know.
Maybe they were 14.
Maybe.
Maybe they were 16. Maybe they were 18. But I can tell
all
you.
stages.
Listen, darling, I can tell you that everybody has that same feeling at some point. They just do. It's not special. Once you understand that, then you start to realize that you're just a normal person. You're just the same as everybody.
I don't think that everybody experiences that, because not all the people on this earth are children of God.
Well,
I believe that his children, yes, all of his children, not all of us are his. That's what I'm told. That's what I was taught.
Okay, that's where perhaps you and I disagree, because I think we are all
saved individuals have that experience, not unsaved individuals. That's where I'll draw the line.
Okay. Like I said, I think that you and I disagree on that.
It's fine. It's okay.
And you're right. That is fine.
But I I woke up that day. I woke up. I don't know why I didn't wake up. I didn't just stop doing all the things that I was doing in that moment. It has taken me, we're now to 2026. And the last 2 years to 3 years, 2 to 3 years of my life have been where I moved into a more conservative, about 3 years, non-degenerate type of living. Because I realized
those are hard moves.
I realized that I'd rather live in my car than spin on a pole for money.
Could it be that what you were doing wasn't working?
Yeah, my way wasn't working.
Well, there you go.
The easy moments, the stuff that was easier in the moment, didn't become easier in the moment anymore.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, the worldly ways are quite convenient. You know?
They are until they're not.
Yeah, and then they're deadly. They're always deadly. Some of them are convenient and deadly, and then they become deadly, and that's where I was going. That's where I was going. I could no longer live with I no longer wanted to live with the sense of self that had been given to me from others, right?
Yep.
This like this like I'm just garbage, and then like I did leave something out. Ugh. Damn. I left something out, okay? Because it happens to be the thing that separated me from God. It was the main component, one of the main components, one of the main fueling factors. I had an abortion when I was 17 years old.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
People know. People know.
No, stop it. Stop it.
It's not anymore. It doesn't, that level of vulnerability though, to just like, that was hard. So that's what this is. But I don't carry that with me today. But I fucking carried it forever. I was a piece of shit. And I didn't deserve his help after that. That was the most difficult thing to overcome. And I still have people tell me today that I don't deserve his grace.
I don't think you get it. I don't think you get it now. The fact that you let it go, it's gone now.
Right, but the thing is this whole
interview. You did that. No.
The whole interview.
Stop it. You acknowledge the fact that you let it go. You did that. It's gone now.
Yeah.
It's gone. It's gone.
Can you understand that? Like, I don't hurt for me today. I am covered in grace. I hurt for her. That former self of me.
No.
She didn't get it yet.
No, you don't get it. It's gone. It's gone now. It's gone.
I understand. I know what you're saying. I do. I understand what you're saying.
You need to release that, but you need to release that.
It's not something you can fully release when you move forward helping other people because of it. No, I'm sorry. I don't let go of it completely. As something that defines me, it is gone because I am a new person in Christ.
I'm trying my best to push it away, okay?
But that's what this whole interview was about, Graham. My handle is it's Dark Side Deaconess.
I know.
And so I had to talk about the things that created
and
that.
It was fucking, you have no idea how fucking,
I left one.
You have no idea, darling. You have no idea how it was absolutely amazing, and the fact that you could do that and you could push that away was absolutely. I can't even put it into words. It was so gracious. But
that's something I don't get called very often. Thank you. Sir, I know I'm nervous and I'm trying to be humorous, and I think that you are trying to genuinely be helpful and encouraging, and it is fucking uncomfortable. Hold on. Wow.
You big fuck. I'm trying to be generous.
I know. Isn't it awful that I can't even accept it?
No, you silly fuck.
So there are things that
I fucking love all of you.
It's not generous, you silly fuck.
From one fucked human to the other, like I genuinely love my community. All of them, all the people who don't even like me anymore. Like I genuinely love and have appreciation for everybody, because right now I'm having a hard time seeing myself as Graham is describing me. This is not anything new for me. I tried to do this as undetached as I possibly could today. Apparently it didn't work, because now somebody's telling me that I'm gracious and I'm courageous, and I'm over here like, nah, I'm just a big old piece of shit. You know, like I still have that a little bit attached to me, especially when it comes to society and people, because society and people have failed me more than God will. God never failed me. My dependence on society failed me, because society is of Satan, not of God.
Right.
You know, and so I'm so
there's
sorry that I'm like trying to cover up my sloppy cry over here, but man, I'm sorry, Graham. I'm so sorry. I want to listen, and this fucking nasty thing in my ear keeps going, interrupt him because he's not telling the truth.
and that's the main thing that I came up for, is that it's not quite like the halftime pep talk from the coach, right? It's not just, okay, heard the words, now go out and charge. Some of us have done some things in our lives that the only person that or the only being that has ever said that they would forgive is the Creator, right? So to hear other people calling us things that don't align with those things, regardless of where we are in our process with Him, is not only uncomfortable. If it's pushed too hard, it can have a negative effect. But that's not on the person who's trying to say the nice stuff. That is 100% just where that other individual is in their process. And you know, I agree with you. Like the show today was great. It was good. Just you know, I'm not one who takes compliments very easily either. You know, at the same time, I don't feel that in my professional career, so on and so forth, I don't feel that I get the recognition. I'm not asking for compliments. I'm just asking for results, right? And it's a sticky, weird situation to be in, where in my head someone can say, "Hey, great job," and you're like, "Yeah, okay, fuck off," and then 5 minutes later, you're like, why didn't they just give me a result instead of words, right? So it's hard. It's hard when words have been turned on you for your entire life. Words are hard to hear.
It wasn't even necessarily the things that people said to me. I mean, later on, but by the time I was 13 years old, I didn't see myself having I had no value. By the time most individuals have a developed worldview, I already had this view that people who are supposed to protect you don't, and I was
right.
And I was a piece of garbage, and it was further validated in the years to come. So
right,
it was the actions or the inactions that I paid attention to. Today, I pay a lot of attention to people's words and their actions.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
Well, no two people are the same, but
right.
But you know, there is a psychological defense, because some people spend so long fighting, not trusting anything that was verbally good, right? Because nothing was ever physically good. So it can make for a real difficult situation when it comes to accepting praise, or even accepting acceptance from groups. Like, I know I quite often stick. That's why I tell people right out front, no, I'm a dick. I'm an asshole, and I'm gonna piss you off. And you can tell me I'm pissing you off, and I might just piss you off a little bit more, just to see if you have an air of reconciliation in you that I'm offering to the rest, with my association. So it's we can be self-sabotaging, people who have spent 25, 30 years in those kind of situations. We can be self-sabotaging.
How do you mean?
Well, distrusting of people who are free with praise, and who are free with friendship, and attempting to work extra to win the approval of people who could care less.
Well, you said like you said something about self-sabotage.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's self-sabotaging. So
you're trying to be something that you're not.
Well,
they sabotage from the get-go, and I've done that. I've done that. I've definitely tried to wear the masks, to be what people expected me to be. I did that in my, when I first, I started following the Crucible probably in July of 2024, I think. Somewhere in that, 24. Yeah, 24. And then I think I applied to the Foundry in like November. And then I think I became active in the Foundry like 3 weeks into January of 2025. And I often did find myself in positions where I was like pretending like I was doing things that were compulsive against my own moral judgment.
Yeah.
And I can look back and I can see the patterns of behavior. Yeah, Caleb says imposter syndrome. Well, when I don't really want to go into the psychology or the psychiatry of it, but
yeah, it gets deep and muddy in between people when you're there.
I wasn't an imposter. I was without identity. I literally had no identity.
So when did you begin?
I had no idea who I was.
So when did you begin to have an identity?
About 10 years ago.
So why didn't you stick with that?
Although when you're first coming out of stuff like that, that identity is the lowest you ever want to acknowledge you can go. You can go lower, but you don't want to. That identity it ends up being those identities, and those first identities that you pick up after not having one are completely survivalist and abusive to other people before they can abuse you, and totally and completely incompatible with society. And that's a survival technique of the mind.
Well, so, I mean, why didn't I stay with that? So, because I still associated with the same kind of people.
Sure.
And I ended up in a relationship with a man that was abusive.
So why would you do that?
I still wasn't. I listened to the wrong shoulder, and when the first time that he was physical with me, I went back into the I regressed. I became a piece of shit again. I became not worth nothing more than that. Once again, it was validated for me that I was a piece of shit.
So the question becomes, why would you do that?
Why would I? What do you mean? Why would I get into a relationship, or why would I get into a relationship
Why,
with a?
why would you regress?
Why would I regress? I didn't have the
Yes.
support that I needed.
It's safety.
Yeah, it was comfortable.
It's the safety. Yeah.
Hold on, Nate. Let me hold on, Graham, wait. Nate, let me speak for myself.
Yes, please.
It was familiar and comfortable. It wasn't like I woke up one day and was like, oh, I don't deserve, like everything was perfect. I was in 2 abusive relationships back to back in the last 10 years. The last one was like not physical. It was different. I never been with a person like that.
Okay.
I'm still not over it. I'm not. And I'm single, and I've been single since. I've talked to a few guys since, but as far as a relationship, no, I'm not ready for that yet. Not the fuck at all.
Well, nobody's asking that.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, those 2 back-to-back abusive relationships from 2015 to 2024. In 9 years, I was in 2 back-to-back abusive relationships of 2 different types, by the way. 2 different types. The one beat the fuck out of me, but never said anything negative to me. Hold on, you're on my channel. Let me do this.
Okay.
The one beat the fuck out of me, but never really called me out of my name. He never like called me a bitch, a cunt, and nothing. He never said until like the very end of a relationship, but never said those things. But there were times when he would beat the fuck out of me. And the next one never put his hands on me, but boy, did he like to degrade me. And mentally just fuck me. And then I moved like 9-hour drive away from all of my family with him. Like I had no idea. He was not that person when I moved to a different state, he turned into this completely different person. It was fucking wild. And at the end of my relationship with that man, I had a conversation with his mother, and she asked me why I stayed with him. And well, after that conversation with his mother, I was like, maybe I shouldn't stay with him if his mother is asking me why I continue to be in a relationship with him. So I ended that relationship, and I'm not done. I'm not completely healed from it. I still am relatively attached at times, depending on what the fuck's going on in my life. I still sometimes believe that I'm a piece of shit. I pick my cross up and I put it down just like everybody else.
Okay.
So
I'm confused.
I could slip back into that quite easily.
I'm confused.
What do you mean you're confused?
How can you be in those both of those relationships at the same time?
It wasn't. They were back to back within 9 years.
Well, according to you, they were back to back.
Yeah, they were back to back. I started dating the second one 2 weeks after I kicked the other one out of my house.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, I did what I did. Why I did it, who fucking knows? Because I wanted to.
That's on you.
Yeah, like it's because I did. I don't know. I was lonely. Who fuck knows? I don't fucking like that's the honest answer. I was probably lonely. I probably didn't want to be by myself. And I'm not even completely healed today. Again, like anybody who thinks that they're all the way healed from life just is one fucking one day away from something one moment away from something catastrophic happening in their life, and then they, you might, because shit seems easier when you're under pressure to do it the worldly way. Like, we're all just one fucking decision away from slipping out of salvation. Okay, like that's how I see it.
Yeah, but that's how we get there, because we just peel the onion back. We peel the onion back one layer at a time until we get to the root. And once we get to the root, that's when we can decide what's going on.
I mean,
that's how relationships are.
Yeah, well, I mean,
not everybody can do that. Honestly.
I'm sorry. Not all relationships be like that. Yes, relationships are peeling the onion back one layer at a time, but not all relationships be abusive. Okay, I'm not talking about some minor
No, of course not.
bullshit.
No, of course not.
Yeah, so because I have been in multiple, and yeah, I know some people are like, well, I wonder what she did to get hit. I made his sandwich wrong, and that's a true fucking story. Okay, I don't know if I was making grilled cheese or a ham sandwich or what the fuck I was doing. All I know is that day the plate come flying at my head with the sandwich on it while I was holding my son. Tell me what the fuck I did wrong. Okay.
Sure.
Multiple, I experienced, I was running with the wrong fucking people. I was associating with the wrong crowds. That's how I ended up with men like that, because I chose men from those fucking circles of socialization. That's why. They were the ones that were in my closest circles. And I am one of those women who tends to date within her social circles because of familiarity. But I also have dated outside of my social circles and have also found that, well, there's some good ones and some bad ones. They're not all bad. I know there's a good one out there. I'm not ready for him yet, though. So.
And what are they?
What's a good man? Or what are the bad ones?
No, I'm talking about your opinion. What are they?
Ask my opinion about what? About the men that I was with, or good men?
No, about the good guys.
About the good guys?
Yeah, what are they?
Moral, Christian, goes to church, participates in the parish activities, has a close relationship with the priest because, confession does that. Yeah, something like that. Doesn't beat people up. And if they did, they don't do it anymore. Like, I would prefer someone not with that past, but I know I can't be fucking picky over here. And part of me would prefer a man that maybe was as fucked up as me one time, but now he's not. I don't know. If I say that my past is washed clean in the blood of Jesus, well, then so is his. So I don't know. I mean,
can I ask you a question?
Yes. Hold on, just for joking. DSD needs a Christian that's possibly a lumberjack. Yes. Crucible Crusader knows my type. Go ahead, Graham.
The men that you just described, how many times have you met those people?
Oh. No.
No. How many times?
I don't know a number. I don't know a number.
Could it be one?
Yeah, definitely. I've at least met one.
So why didn't you marry that dude?
They weren't single. Lots of the guys that I interact with aren't single. They're married. Most of the men that have some kind of past, and either returned to Christ or found Christ while being lost without him for their life or whatever. Most of those guys are married.
Excuse me, DSD. You understand what I'm doing, right?
No. I don't know. What are you doing?
Because you and I are not going to meet.
Right.
All right, we live on the opposite side of the world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to push you somewhere.
Are you trying to?
Yes, ma'am.
One that likes honey mustard Slurpees.
You see how you already know.
Are you like trying to
Hey,
market
I'm
me?
trying
What
to-
are you doing, Graham?
I'm trying to push you somewhere. Oh my God!
Am I Catholic? No, I'm an Orthodox Inquirer.
I didn't ask you as a Catholic.
No. Bluegrass did. She said DSD. Are you Catholic? I've been Protestant my whole life. I was actually born into a Catholic family, but my mother left the Catholic Church when I was like 6-ish, 7-ish, something like that. Been Protestant all that time up until about.
You see how the average man can never ever say. He can never ever say what the average woman wants. He can't do it because as soon as he does it, it gets rejected. I'm going to reject it right now.
You're getting rejected?
Oh yeah.
Graham, you live in England. I'm getting rejected? Wait, I'm rejecting you?
I live in England. Are you fucking nuts?
I don't know where are you in Australia? I don't know. Your accent is fucking me up. Are you an Aussie? I could have swore you were a Ookie.
Should I call? Excuse me, ma'am. Should I call you Canadian?
Only if you call AVG American. I don't
Graham's
know.
from New Zealand, right?
Are you a Kiwi?
Fuck you all.
I offended him.
Fuck you all. Wow.
I think Graham's like in his 50s, right?
You cunts are all fucking. How offensive are you? My God.
I know, right?
I'm trying to help you out, and here you are fucking denigrating me.
Caleb said Aussie or Kiwi. Where are you? He's Scottish for sure. That was my next guess.
Let me tell you all, you piss ants. From fucking WW2, there's only one country. There's only one that's supported the US. And if you can't see that, then fuck you all. Look it up. Look it up.
Was it Australia?
You pathetic piece of shit.
Did he lose
You
to the
fucking
Eagles?
pathetic piece of shit.
Caleb wants to know if you lost to the Emus. What was the one country that supported the U.S. during World War II?
Since World War II.
Since World War II? Well, that's England, right?
No, Australia sent more over into Australia sent more into all of our military maneuvers than the rest of Europe did.
Than anyone else.
Australia, then.
Consistently.
I thought
There's
so.
only one.
Okay,
There's
what
only
part of-
one.
what
You
part of-
fucking assholes.
But
There's
you
only
don't-
one. There's only one country that's ever supported the US since WW2. There's only one. You fucking assholes. How could you not know that?
Yeah, well, guess what?
Yeah, well.
Australia didn't want me to be over there driving land trains, so they can suck it.
You don't sound like the other Aussies, though. Why? Are you not from the bush? Are you from a bougie part of Australia that's not the bush? You sound
There's only
different.
one. Excuse me, ma'am. There's only one part of the bush that we're from.
So you are from the bush. Oh, no.
Yeah, you got it.
Pharmacat says you're Russian.
Is this the haggis Slovakian?
Aussies are where we sent the bad ones. That's not, that one's not, the one's not acceptable to us.
I'm starting to think that the people from the US are the most racist people in the world.
Hell yeah, we are. No, I was kidding. Oh man. Bluegrass is asking me why I choose not to be Catholic. It's because I do not agree with papal supremacy, sir. I can't get under the papal thing.
Well, that's on you.
I know. He was asking. I answered. Yeah, Caleb says we are and proud the most racist country in the world. Listen, I'm not racist, okay? I'm just really good at pattern recognition. And I am against the urban culture, okay? And any color of person that lives inside of urban culture. That's my piece.
You just
urbanites, dirty urbanites. Quick, someone pronounce knighted with a hard K. Graham is obviously drinking. That's bad.
I couldn't do this without drinking.
Oh my! Oh, so now you insult me. What is this? What is this? And now the narcissistic tendencies start. Next, you're going to hear him complimenting me again. We call this love bombing, folks. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It was a joke. It was a joke. There's the panel link if anybody else wants to get up here with all this ridiculousness. I am going to go refill my coffee and play you a song, so I will be right back.
Reaching up and reaching out. We don't do this just for clout. Let's meet this goal like they score in FIFA. We do this cause it's what we're all about. We've got goals, you pay tolls. YouTube trolls can go back to your holes. Better make the goal bell ring, or how long Nate is gonna sing. Boobies, boobies. You can't see my boobies, boobies. Boobies, boobies. Boobies, boobies. You can't see my boobies, boobies. You can't see my boobies, boobies.
Caleb, you don't have to come on camera if you want to come up.
We've got goals, you pay tolls, YouTube trolls can go back to your holes. Better make the goal bell ring.
I do need to do some housekeeping though, because I haven't yet. Let's see. Oh, yes. Here's the goal. Today is the 11th. The goal was $1,370. It was higher than before because a week from today, I go into what's called an epilepsy monitoring unit. I talked a little bit about that during my interview. So that they can get some further diagnostic criteria to see to do some stuff. So I will be limited on what I can do from the hospital. I am allowed to take my laptop with me and stuff, but I'm sure that the hospital Wi-Fi is not good enough to go live. So I will be doing probably some like vlogging and posting shorts while I'm there. But I will not be able to go live for approximately 3 to 7 days. The stay is a minimum of 3 days and a maximum of 7. So depending on how long it takes them to get the information that they need off of the EEG. I'll be hooked up to an EEG machine the whole time. So that's why the goal was a little higher. Usually it's only $700. But if we could get as close to that goal as possible, I greatly appreciate it. I know it's quite steep. Yeah. They're going to do all the things. What's up? So Caleb, they are going to hook me up to the EEG. Yep. They're going to do all the triggers to create spike wave discharges, which could ultimately lead to a grand mal grand mal seizure. Oh, Lawrence left. Could ultimately, trigger a grand mal seizure, tonic-clonic seizure, which is what I'm the most scared of, but at least I'll be in the hospital where it's the safest to have one. So yeah, the thing is I've never done one, and I think it's really weird that I haven't done one. I've had outpatient EEGs, lots of them. I did one ambulatory EEG. My first mind you, I've had this disorder since I was 8 years old and was officially diagnosed with it when I was still 14. It was 1996, but it was March of 96. So I was 14. That's when the official diagnosis came. And I didn't have my first ambulatory EEG until this year in April. What happened? Oh, you don't know how to mute the YouTube. You can pause it. That way it doesn't, if you want to still give me the view, it won't play in the background. That's what I usually do on my phone. Hi, RLM. But yeah, it's weird that I didn't have an ambulatory EEG prior to this April, but that ambulatory EEG was only 24 hours. And in that 24 hours, I had 3 spike wave discharges the day that I went back. So I went there, I got hooked up. And then when I went back and they took it off and they read the diagnostics results that morning, prior to me coming back to the hospital to have all the things removed, I had 3 spike wave discharges within like a 3 to 4 hour time frame that were 3 to 4 seconds long and relatively strong in like the megahertz of the electric in my head, right? That sounds weird when you're talking about brain, but that's really what's going on. So, and that was, I did not recognize. Now, mind you, I live alone. Well, I live with my son, but he's not around most of the time. And a 3 to 4 second absence seizure is what they're called. It could be me blinking such, and I'm just kind of like not here. It could be just me staring off to the nowheres.
What the fuck are you describing?
Seizures.
Hello? What the fuck are you describing?
Seizures.
Then why don't you say seizures?
Okay. So, anyways, so what happened while I was hooked up to this
Is there
24-hour ambulatory
something wrong with?
ECT? I'm talking. Please don't. So I had 3 absence seizures after I woke up that morning in a 3 to 4 hour time frame, and I did not recognize.
No. We're not asking about fucking time frame. No, you dumb fuck. We're asking about time frame.
Graham,
We're just asking about what's the problem.
Graham, I have epilepsy. Fuck. And I have to go to the hospital next Tuesday for maybe a week while they try to figure out what the fuck to do so I can actually be a functional human in society. That's what the fuck I'm talking about, bro. Come on.
Then go to the hospital, sir.
Graham, I don't think, like, I get it, you're drinking, and maybe it's not a good idea for you to be on the panel. Maybe you should just be listening instead of up here talking. But everybody in chat knows what I'm talking about. I'm sorry that you don't. I'm sorry that maybe you think I'm talking about something that my chat doesn't want me to talk about. But actually, people that have been following me this long know that this hospital stay has been pending. They know that I spend the first 3 to 4 hours that I wake up in bed, other than getting up and going to the bathroom and making my coffee. I stay in my bed because there's a chance that I could have a seizure and get hurt if I fucking don't. Within the first 3 to 4 hours of me awakening, my epilepsy runs my fucking life. I don't go outside because I'm afraid I'm going to fall down if I fucking take a walk and get hurt, or fall down while I'm trying to cross the street and someone's not going to see me and I'm going to be hit by a car. Like, this is reality for me, and this is what I'm sharing with my chat. And the viewers that have been following me since I came on the scene, they know about this. So they want me to talk about this. You may not want me to, sir, but my followers actually do. I have other followers that have epilepsy. One of mine has a child with it. One of mine has a parent with it. And I have 2 individuals that I know actually have epilepsy. So you may not want to hear this, sir.
That's amazing.
My fucking followers do. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop you, Graham. I thank you very much for coming up and encouraging me and complimenting me. But you keep kind of taking things where they shouldn't. And I don't like it. I really don't like it. Yeah, these people are awaiting my hospital stay almost as much as I am. They want to know the results just as much as I do. Like, epilepsy ain't no joke. Like, you can say, oh, well, I do fine with it. I did fine with it too, until the last 4 years when I completely changed my fucking lifestyle. And wouldn't you fucking know it? I let nobody in my life that thinks that they can tell me how I should be functioning with this disorder. You can get the fuck out. Bye. See you later. You have no idea. I have totaled 3 vehicles having a seizure while driving. Why? Well, because society ain't fit to take care of people like me when we have to take care of ourselves. Okay? Like, you have to have at least 12 months in which you are affected by your disorder and you cannot make income to file for Social Security. I was having 1 seizure a year. They said that's not enough. Then I totaled my vehicle. I almost killed myself. I ran across 4 fucking lanes of highway. I put the engine of a Dodge Caravan almost in my lap. I flipped a Ford Focus while driving it up a fucking telephone pole. Okay? That's why I'm here online, because it's the safest place for me to ask people to be like, hey, Social Security says that I don't deserve it yet. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Work from home is the best option. It's extremely limited. I have to be very careful about the level of stress that I put myself under when it comes to my employment. Anything at all. Stress is my trigger. Waking up is my trigger. Like, do you know stress is good and bad, right, everybody? You got good stress, and I know I'm yelling, and you got bad stress. And it doesn't matter if I'm excited, overly excited, happy, or stress out because I might die. It doesn't matter. The brain doesn't know the difference between good and bad stress. It just knows endorphins. So, like, I think some people underestimate this disorder. I underestimated it for a long time, and it almost killed me a few times. So, I'm going to do the safest thing for me and everybody else. I'm only ever going to get in my car when I need to drive. And you bet your ass, unless I'm going out with someone else, I'm not taking a walk. I'm not going for a hike. Like, I'm just not doing it. It's been 4 years since I had my last grand mal seizure, but I am still having absent seizures probably every single day. Do you know what it's like to, I want everybody to close your eyes and count to 4. And then imagine that you were driving just now. I've changed lanes without knowing it and realizing, oh shit, I wasn't in this lane. I don't remember switching lanes. That's when shit got serious.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna. Hi, Caleb. Your glasses are fucking cool, by the way.
One sec, I'm having audio issues. I'm so sorry.
You're good.
Yeah, do you ever struggle with anxiety at all?
So part of my complex post-traumatic stress disorder is associated with my epilepsy. I am afraid to go outside and be by myself. It's see, like even the thought of it, even the fucking thought of it. I don't like having other people in my car
back out.
with me. Okay, we can hear you. You can't hear us. Lawrence, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Caleb, can you hear me? He might be having audio issues. Oh, he's on his phone. Hopefully you get it fixed. Yeah, so I have, it's, if I go somewhere, like I got to go somewhere with a familiar person, or like I'm constantly assessing when I go out by myself, and it keeps me from enjoying stuff, you know, like I have to know that, like I have to have an anchor person if I go somewhere that knows how to take care of me if I have a seizure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it really, and people are like, oh, you're just overdoing. No, I'm not. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not. Like you, I underestimated this disorder. I don't think I did it like for a good portion of my life, unfortunately, due to my decisions, right? Due to whatever. Like I was in a position not to have access to my medication, doing things that were absolutely lowering my threshold for seizures. It's really weird because when I was doing drugs, I didn't really have like seizures out of control. Like it was really weird. You would think that that it would be different, but I didn't. And so it was August or September of 2014, I started experiencing tonic-clonic seizures every 30 to 60 days. And the two that I have ever had closest together in my life during that period were 6 days apart.
Right.
And I had a stressful life.
Yeah.
Even though that, like, I wasn't on drugs. I wasn't doing any drugs at all. I was getting nicotine and caffeine, and that's what got me through my day.
Right.
But for some reason, my brain just said, fuck you. for about 2 years. And I think it was actually about, it was almost 2 years, because it started in August of 2014. And in 2016, I went back to work against medical advice while I was filing for Social Security.
Right.
And when I sat down in front of the Social Security administrative judge with my best friend, who is no longer with us, he asked me why I went back to work against medical advice. I told him that I had 3 children to take care of, and well, nobody else was going to do it. I had to.
Right.
And he said, that's not usually what we hear here. That's not what usually people are coming in here. People are usually making excuses for reasons not to work.
Right.
And so I was granted what's called a closed period of time settlement from Social Security under SSI, because I hadn't worked my 40 quarters yet. I have now, and will be filing for Social Security once this hospital stay is over. Because now it wouldn't be much. But if in fact it is something that I need to do to make sure that, because you can work under Social Security, you have to wait like 12 months or something before you do. But you can because I'll get my actual retirement benefit. My Social Security retirement benefit will be my disability benefit because I've worked my quarters. So, and while it's not much, it would be extremely helpful, because you still can work on disability as long as you don't make a certain amount, because it's not welfare, right? But they will stop your disability payment if you're working full time, right? Because if you're working full time, consistently, you don't need the disability. But the thing is on a daily basis, I have to assess how I feel within those 3 to 4 hours after I wake up. And I do sometimes wake up, and I know that a lot of people won't get this, but the people out there with epilepsy that have woken up after a seizure will get this. Sometimes I wake up feeling postictal. So sometimes I feel like I had a seizure when I wake up.
Right.
And it's possible that I did. That's very scary, but it's possible that I did. And so in the morning, I have to make the decision on whether or not I can get in my car and go drive to a job.
Yeah.
Jobs generally don't like you calling off last minute. So it restricted the hours that I could even work, especially if I was going to have to get in my car and drive.
Right.
But the thing is if I have a tonic-clonic seizure, I'm not allowed to drive for 90 days. So it's regardless of how I feel in the morning. Like if I have a seizure today, I can't drive to work for 3 months.
Yeah.
So it's like it gets in the way. And I've gone against that many times. Why? Because society is just not made for people that genuinely I don't need people to give me stuff. Like I obviously function otherwise relatively well in most areas of my life. But if I have a seizure, I'm restricted.
Right.
Like I literally will sleep anywhere from 24 to 72 hours after I have a seizure. My whole body just went, and now it's like, and the brain wants to go to sleep, and the muscles, the spazzing and the convulsing and the tensing of the muscles is hard on your body.
Right.
And I'm already old, now I'm old. Now it's a completely different story when I come out of a seizure. It's not nearly as easy as it once was.
Yeah.
It's like a hangover. It's like not nearly as easy as it once was.
Yeah. How old are you?
45.
Oh, I'm 47. Yeah, I thought you were way younger. You looked like 30 something.
I get that. I get that a lot. Thank you. It's in my genes, Sydney Sweeney. Because I definitely didn't do anything to preserve my youth in my life. I did everything to destroy the youth in me.
Yeah. I'm on Social Security myself. In 1999, I was diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder. Have you ever heard of that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it basically means I'm in another world and I get hallucinations sometimes. Mostly at night, I can't sleep with the light off because I just see all these scary demonic things, and I just have to quickly turn the light on. It's just terrifying. And yeah, and I also struggle with anxiety. I also have level 2 autism, meaning I need special help with things. See, I'm unable to drive at all because the anxiety and the autism and the ADD that just interfere too much with that. And yeah, and I remember how I struggled so much in school because I just couldn't understand anything. The only thing I'm good at is art. I have some of my. Oh, this is.
Your audio keeps cutting in and out, Lawrence.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Like this, I decorate
The flowers. Did you make that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your audio's cutting out. I think when you're moving.
Yeah, what I do is I like change it around. Like that tree, my father helped me build it, and I like put different leaves on as the seasons change and everything. And then I also do a lot of artwork on the computer. I post my artwork on Facebook. I don't know if you have a Facebook page or not. But yeah, so yeah, I can kind of understand like the struggles and everything because the anxiety got really bad during my 20s, and they put me on Xanax, and I had no idea how addicting that could be. They started me off on just a little bit, and then before I knew it, I was on like 3 or 4 Xanax bars a day. And
I bet you weren't thinking anything.
yeah, yeah, it was really bad, and it like turned me into a different person. It was like I was like a monster while I was on it, and my mother got on it too, and it changed her into like a monster. We were fighting all the time, and we were both very paranoid, scared, and there was always this horrible heartburn feeling in our chest and everything. And she went to rehab in 2013 to get off of it, and then but then in August she passed on because the stents that they put in her for osteoporosis and Crohn's disease, actually it was for, they were clogged, and they tried to do what they could, and she passed on in the hospital, and that was really difficult. And then 2017 I got off the Xanax, and then 2018 I got off the Ambien, and I've been clean ever since, but they were terrible years.
Well, good for you staying clean, man.
Hello.
What's up, Caleb? All right, we're fixed.
Well, fixed. I had to use a different browser. Sorry about that.
All good, all good. So do you have the same kind of epilepsy I do?
I do. It's
junior myoclonic?
yes. Yeah. So I actually had to text my ex-wife the other day after talking to you. I'm like, hey, what is it that I have? Because I didn't pay attention to that stuff.
Yeah, it's so the last accident that I had was when I ran my Ford Focus, my 2015 Ford Focus up a telephone pole. I very nearly missed a gas line. I was in Taco Bell's parking or like drive-through. And yes, I have ARAs. ARAs are seizures, by the way. They are spike wave discharges.
Are they? See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I'll actually I will send you the video that I presented to people when I first started doing this. I found a really great audio. It's an audio. It's like you'll see like the voice things go up and down or whatever, but it's just the audio of them talking, and they go into a great deal about junior myoclonic epilepsy. So you and I have, among people with epilepsy, ours is the most common. It is the least researched.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny you say that. I was so I'm from Massachusetts, and I was supposedly seeing the best neurologist in the United States.
Hold on. I don't mean to cut you off, but my point was, I had the aura.
Mm-hmm.
I thought instead of just putting my car in park, I thought I had enough time to get to a parking spot that was just right ahead of me. And instead of getting to the parking spot, I almost T-boned a woman. And I ended up running the car up the telephone pole and flipping it upside down.
Wow. Did you get injured? I mean, that sounds awful.
Well, the insurance adjuster wanted to know how I was alive. And the doctor says I have yet to be seriously injured in an accident caused by a seizure because, well, you're not conscious. Just like a person who is under the influence when they get into an accident, they're usually the one that lives. Yeah. So my body's already like doing its thing, right? And it's just going wherever the car goes. So that's why.
I get that. The very first one I ever had, I was working. I was on a boat. So I was tagging, which is like when you direct a crane. I fell 30 feet from the top of the boat to the hull. Didn't break a single bone beside one thing in my neck. Woke up in the hospital. I thought I didn't remember going to work. I thought I had gotten into a car accident. So I kept breaking down thinking I hurt somebody. I was like, no, did I kill a family? Like, dude, you were at work. You're fine. But I still to this day don't remember going to work that day. Nothing. But I guess I'm lucky. I didn't start having them until I was 21, and I didn't do any drugs at that point. I was clean.
Adult onset JME can actually be worse than like early onset. And it goes into that video a little bit about that, like late onset JME. It was probably already there. You were probably having absence seizures because a lot of people who have JME that don't present. So there's a difference between absence epilepsy. There's two different ones. There is one diagnosis that is strictly absence seizures, but absence seizures are not the same as generalized seizures. Okay, so for us, sometimes absence seizures where they have the absence epilepsy, the junior absence epilepsy, I think is what it's called. I forget. But with the generalized, it starts on both sides of the frontal lobe at the same time and then spreads. Unless it doesn't spread, because if it spreads, that's a convulsive seizure. The stronger they are is where you'll get your myoclonic jerks like that. You don't know you're like, what the fuck? That's a myoclonic jerk. I do it. You guys will probably now notice it on screen. Okay. I know I do it. Which is why I know I shouldn't be going out on my own and getting in my car very often, because I be having myoclonic jerks, which are just a little bit stronger, generalized spike wave discharges that would be like the absence, or like, the fluttering of the. I don't do that one. I don't think. I do. I sometimes will loop in conversation.
Okay.
I'll loop in conversation. I might stop. You guys, I don't know if they're brain farts or if they're seizures. Okay. I'm also old and going through perimenopause. So it literally could just be brain fog, or it could be spike wave discharges. I don't know, but I'm not fucking risking it. Okay. Like I'm being as careful as I can. I don't want to kill anybody or myself while I'm driving my vehicle. And I don't want to walk across the street and then get hit by a car and die. Like I want to live a little longer. Okay, please, Lord. But yeah, it's absent seizures prior to. I had my first tonic-clonic seizure when I was 8 years old, and I didn't have another one until I was 14.
It's funny you say 8 because they connect mine to head trauma, and I have cluster headache disorder. And I had my very first one on my 8th birthday. I didn't even get to go to my own party. I couldn't open my eyes, nothing. And yeah, they said they believe
Those were
my
seizures.
Yeah,
They
that's
were
what
seizures.
my stomach doctor thinks that, and I'm like, hey, I don't know. But yeah, I still get them. I still get really bad cluster headaches, and it's like I'd rather have a seizure than the cluster headache, believe it or not, because they're over a lot quicker for me.
Yeah,
I'm sore afterwards, but
yeah, it's not fun to deal with. I got to be honest. Do you have kids?
I do.
I am a mother with epilepsy.
Mm-hmm.
And it already like tears me down because it kept me from being able to take care of my kids to like, obviously not my fullest potential, right? Because I have the epilepsy. I didn't do that to myself. It's just there. And it was like, man, like I can't even, it made me feel like less of a mother. And because my kids were dependent on me, I did have custody of 2 of my kids. And I needed to be able to take care of them. And here I wasn't able to take care of them. I'm not a man, but I am a woman that has been the primary care provider for one of her children for his whole life. So I do kind of understand that primary provider, caretaker role.
Yeah.
And I couldn't imagine being a man with children carrying that around.
Yeah, I am actually in the same boat. So I have 2 kids. I don't see my oldest. He actually turns 19 in a couple days. But I'm my youngest. I'm all he knows. That's it. And he's seen me have them, and that bums me out because especially when they're young, they don't know what's going on. They're 3, 4 years old. Mom isn't around anymore, so he's sitting there, and it sucks because afterwards, like you said, you're post-ictal. Yeah, in the days you don't want to move. You don't know. Your body's doing things you have no control over, no idea what it's going to do from minute to minute. And they just want to be kids, want to go do stuff with you, and it does. It sucks. And a place has games with you. It is. It's a rough time.
Yeah.
Ugh, it's I think that I've said it to you before. Like I've had it and been dealing with this since before I had kids. And so like when my son was little, he was like 2, 3, 4, 2. He was little. I taught my daughters what to do in the event that I had a seizure, and like the instructions were written on a piece of paper and they were on the refrigerator, and it was put brother in the high chair, snap him in, make sure mom's okay, call 911, make sure like I'm not like beating my head on something, right?
Yeah.
But put brother in the high chair, click him in, go to mom, call 911. Like that was it sucks. Like I got it. Epilepsy is not the only thing that people have to do this for, right? There are so many other disorders out there where people have to teach their children the process of doing something. And they should all be taught this anyways, right?
Of course.
What if mom just trips going down the hallway and busts her head on a vent that's on the floor and now it's gashed open and she won't wake up, right?
teach your
Exactly.
kids to call 911 regardless. But my children were trained specifically for this said circumstance, so that he wasn't, he was a really wild toddler. But he was a boy. So, but make sure that he wasn't getting into anything and he was secure. Make sure mom was not beating her head against the floor, put a pillow under her, and call 911. Hi, Avarice. This is Caleb and Lawrence. Why aren't you on the panel, Avarice?
Yeah, what's going on, Avarice?
Hi, he's Avarice. Ooh, sardines. Ew. Why sardines? Sardines are too salty and hairy.
Yeah.
I'll do fried smelts.
What is it?
I'll do fried smelts, kind of like a sardine.
Smelt? Like kelp? Kelp, the smelt?
It's a little fish. It's like a sardine. I don't know if it's a New England thing or not.
I don't know. I can't imagine eating raw fish out of a can.
Oh, it's only fresh. Only do them fresh.
Oh, Lord. We've been going for a minute. What time is it?
Yeah, you have, what, 3 hours? 3.5?
Over 3 hours. Yeah. First part was rough. And then Graham was all drunk.
I don't think he was understanding the whole seizure thing. That's all.
Yeah.
Right.
What up? Oh, great. Another mass hole. He's a mass hole, too.
I know. That's the name of the Boston Red Sox mascot.
The U of Mass mascot is called Masshole.
Yeah, no, it's Wicked Wally.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let's see. Chat check. See if I missed anything worth highlighting over here.
I planned to send a super chat at some. Well, not a super chat, but
Don't you tell me to relax, sir. He said, DSD, I don't know you, but I hope you get better, dear. That has to be hard to live with. Please relax, ma'am. Don't tell me what to do. You're not the boss of me. Yes, YouTube is crawling with bottom feeders. Absolutely. I wouldn't call Graham a bottom feeder. When he's
Hi,
sober,
RLM.
when Graham is sober, he's great. So, but, finally somebody who gets my nickname around here. Oh, Wicked Wally is the name of the U of Mass mascot. Okay. Who's Boston Logan sucks? Who's Boston Logan?
That's our airport.
I don't know.
Oh, that's your airport?
Oh.
I go to TF Green. TF Green. I'm close to Rhode Island, so.
Yeah. What states do you guys live in?
I'm in Ohio.
Okay, I'm in Montana.
That's funny. I'll be in Ohio after September 29th.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a bad place to live, just going to be honest. It's affordable
No,
as fuck.
my buddy has a place out there. I'm going to go see him for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear me, people? Ohio is one of the most affordable states in this country to live in, just so you know. So if you're in California making excuses for why you're not having babies in a family, you can come on to Ohio. Just make sure you leave your liberal ways in California.
Yeah. Have you guys heard about all the forest fires we're having out west?
Yeah. Lots of those.
Yeah, Spokane, an arsonist set that place up on fire. They arrested him. He was some 37-year-old, and apparently Yeah, it's on the news. They arrested him, and he was convicted of unaliving his father long ago for something stupid. His father asked him to do the dishes, and he unalived him.
Okay, I gotta find. I'm looking at it. We're gonna look at it. Keep going.
But I feel really bad for the people who lost their homes in Spokane. I think over 900 homes were burnt down.
That's terrible.
Okay, so here it is.
Yeah.
Here's the article. This is, I use, what is the AP News? I forget what the AP stands for, but they happen to be probably one of the more.
AP News is awesome because don't
Yeah,
they do both like the left and the right thing?
Yeah, they're pretty non-biased. I think they're one of the betters. But hold on, let's see.
And that sign, probably maybe 75 yards, was where we first noticed the column of smoke. On Saturday, the 1st of August, I was taking my grandson to pick up his friend, and as we were driving down the road, I noticed an individual standing off the side of the road on the other side of the train tracks, which borders my property. It was probably 10-15 minutes later. We were returning back. That person was still there, only this time they were kind of bent over and looked like they were doing something towards the tree line and the fence on down, like I said, the north side of the railroad track. So continued up to the house, was here probably 10-15 minutes max, and then my daughter was sitting on the porch out there, and she says there's a fire. So I flagged the officer down, told him what I saw. We gave him a description of the individual that we saw, and after we got all packed up, we're getting ready to leave. He came up to me and says that the Spokane County Sheriff Department had apprehended or detained an individual that met your description and wanted to know if we could identify him. All three of us positively identified that as the individual that we saw standing in the area the fire started, approximately 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes before the fire was noticed. That's how dry it is.
Damn. So, let me. It might play to something else. No. Okay. So it says a man charged with starting one of the wildfires in Spokane, Washington, that have destroyed hundreds of buildings, planned the crime for weeks, and researched when the weather would be the best for igniting it. In an interview after his arrest, Aaron Farinacci. Oh, hold on. I knew it. Shut up. Aaron Farinacci said fire is powerful, beautiful, and that things that go through fire experience a kind of rebirth. Spokane County Detective Michael Drapeau wrote in a court filing Wednesday. Okay, buddy. Farinacci, 37, is charged with starting the Old Trails fire, one of 3 blazes in the Spokane area that have burned more than 850 buildings, destroying whole neighborhoods and streets. Tens of thousands of people were forced to evacuate, and many still can't return home. No deaths or serious injuries have been reported. Farinacci is also charged in connection with 4 smaller fires ignited in the summer of 2025 and last month. He was scheduled, to be arraigned on 5 first-degree arson charges Thursday, but his lawyer asked for a competency evaluation before he enters a plea. Spokane Superior Court Judge Jeremy Schmidt said he would review the request. He set bond for $2 million, ruling that Farinacci was a risk to community safety, a flight risk, and that there was a potential for a violent offense. Defense attorney Colin Charbonneau did not immediately return messages seeking comment.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there was some different information on him, though. Yeah, he did a lot of research.
Yeah.
He said he knew it was going to get bad, but claimed he didn't intend for it to grow as much as it did. Bro, you set fire. What?
Yeah.
You didn't intend. Then you should have been standing there with a fucking a fire extinguisher or 5.
And it's Washington, so he'll be right back out. Let's be real.
Not with. I mean, I hope not. This is serious.
Okay, so he admitted responsibility for 25 fires near his apartment building in 2025.
Wow.
Admitting to starting the Aubrey White fire that ignited on July 6, 2025. Menoc, I think that's how you say that fire that started on July 8th, 2025, the Fort George fire on August 11th, 2025, a year ago today, and the Indian Bluff fire on July 24th, 2026. Wow. Farinacci served about a decade in prison after killing his father in Mesa, Arizona in 2010. He also shot himself. He was charged with murder but pleaded guilty in 2012 to manslaughter and aggravated assault. Farinacci's lawyer repeatedly raised concerns about his mental health during the case. Then the Drapeau said Farinacci indicated that he moved to the Copper River Apartments in Spokane area in October of 2022. Oh, Lord. He started smoking marijuana. That was the fall of it all, guys. The detective said Farinacci's son was born in 2025, and he started having difficulty dealing with life issues and began smoking marijuana. Oh, no, boys. Watch out. Well, I mean, it ain't for everybody, right? There are some people out there that definitely should not use marijuana in any way, shape, or form, whether it's recreationally or medicinally, because it can do things to your brain that you don't want done.
Right.
It can exacerbate, like, I don't want to speak for schizoaffective disorder people, but any form of schizophrenia, especially paranoid schizophrenia, I wouldn't suggest using marijuana.
Right. I never done it myself, but I agree.
I mean, I don't endorse the use of any substance.
Yeah.
I work alongside my doctors with the medical use of mine. And all of my neurologists have been perfectly fine with it. And in the ambulatory EEG that I had, here, I'll stop sharing this. The ambulatory EEG that I had, I actually, like, on my little journal that I had to do, I like wrote when I consumed cannabis. I probably shouldn't say marijuana, but when I consumed the cannabis, and he said that there were no Those are tornado sirens. Give me just a minute. But it's not like storming or anything, so this might be real. Hold on.
My buddy's dad literally just called me from Ohio. Now I'm kind of concerned.
Oh, are you having a possible tornado?
Yeah, I think that's what she said. I think. Don't mark my words. I could be hearing things.
Yeah, we don't get in my area because of the mountains. I've never even seen one before, but yeah.
I only seen one when I lived in Florida, but not here. We don't get them.
Yeah, over here we just have the smoke. You can't even see the mountains.
Yeah, DSD. You gotta be safe out there, whatever it is for me.
Oh, hey, I better go. I have to charge my phone up, but thanks for having me on.
Take
You're
it easy,
welcome.
Lawrence.
You're welcome back anytime, Lawrence. Thank you so much for coming up. His phone probably died as he was going off. Yeah, I'm gonna check my. It stormed earlier, but I probably end just so I don't get cut off.
Alrighty.
Because if the power goes off, I'll get stuck in the studio.
Well,
Yeah,
thank you
and
for
I
having
won't
me
be able
on.
to leave the studio. Yeah, anytime, Caleb. Thank you so much for coming up and sharing a little bit
No,
about your epilepsy journey with us. I really appreciate it.
no worries. Anytime. Have a good one. All right.
You too. Hello, Mushroom. How are you? Yeah, so wow. I need to bring my weather app up. I need to really look at this. The siren's going down. It's not going off anymore. It's still going off. All right. Yeah. All right. So I guess so I don't get knocked out by my internet. I'm going to go ahead and end. And I really, really, really want to say thank you to everybody that that came in and watched that video with me, my interview. I didn't know how it was going to go or how I was going to present it, but it is out there now. All the information, all the goods are out there. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Like to everybody that supports me with every single stream, the views, the likes, the doll hairs, the coinages are always appreciated. Yeah. So I think we end it somewhat like something like this, where I say thank you to the panelists that came up. How long, Nate, Graham, Lawrence, Caleb. Thank you so much for joining the panel. And from one weirdo to the rest, how's it go? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fuck off.